This is Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome inside Spartan Stadium in Kingston, Luzerne County. Tonight, it's a Wyoming Valley Conference big school clash between Hazleton area and Wyoming Valley West. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to week number 2 of high school football here on MyTV WQMY. Joining me topside in the booth, former Tunkhannock area coach Jan Cechak. And coach, what do you see the biggest differences in your team between week 1 and week 2?
That they already have one varsity experience under their belt. It's a time now for the bench kids to step up to help out with the teams. The coaches now also have a better scheme of what their kids can do.
Let's talk about the Cougars first. A big loss to Pottsville last week. Starting quarterback in that game was Matt Fisher. Coach Brendan will move Matt out to his more natural position of wide receiver, and he's our Toyota Spotlight player of the game.
I spoke with Coach Brendan about Matt, and Matt's just a great athlete. And I understand Coach's job. He wants to put the best athlete at quarterback, but let's put him back at the receiver spot and let him do what he does best. He was also their leading tackler last year.
For Wyoming Valley West, a nice win over Scranton. Their leading rusher in that game was Brendan Woods. He's our other Toyota Spotlight player of the game.
Brendan Woods, number 1 in his class, 1560 SATs. He led the team in tackles last year with 100 solo tackles. He's a natural leader on and off the field, and the young kids look up to him at his work ethic more than anything else.
We have another beautiful night for high school football. Let's check in the weather now with meteorologist Allie Debicki from the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Yes, hey there, Bob. Another gorgeous evening across northeastern Pennsylvania, and it goes for the stadium as well. Just watching for an isolated shower as we head through this evening. But for Hazleton versus Wyoming Valley West, mainly looking at dry conditions and kickoff temperatures near 76. Now, through halftime and the end of the game, we will start to drop off into the mid to upper 60s with mainly clear sky, maybe a few areas of fog developing late. This is your forecast now. We'll have another update coming for you at halftime. We'll send it back to you on the field.
Thank you, Allie, and we are all set for big school football in the Wyoming Valley Conference. When we return, it's the opening kickoff and the starting lineups. It's Hazleton area and Wyoming Valley West next.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
We are back in Kingston, getting set for the kickoff between Hazleton area and Wyoming Valley West. Time now to join the third member of our crew, as always, Paul Grippy. And Paul, Valley West's sudden new coach in the summer.
It happened quickly back in June. Pat Keating resigned as head coach of the Wyoming Valley West Spartan football program. He had some persons he was taking care of, and they conflicted, so he stepped down from the program. But the program's in good hands. Jack Baranski stepped right in. He's been the defensive coordinator for 10 years. He's been with the program. He teaches at the school. He knows the players know him. A logical and natural fit for Jack Baranski to step right in. Home opener tonight for Valley West, so it's also the home debut of him as a new head coach. Last week, Valley West got his first win with Jack Baranski. 1-0 is the record as they beat Scranton, but that one was on the road. How they celebrate? Well, they had a fun bus ride back to Kingston, and they did present him with the game ball. So Jack Baranski, 1-0 as head coach of Wyoming Valley West, making his home debut tonight. Admitted he's a little nervous, excited about the whole situation, but once the game starts, I know he'll just be coaching like it's a usual football game. Bob?
Thank you, Paul. And yes, he is 1-0. And Jan, you take you back to your debut. Do you remember having nerves that first night?
This goes back into 1990. Yeah. Soderton High School. We won that game on the very last kickoff return. So yeah, I feel for Coach Baranski, but you know, like you said, once the football starts going, we're playing.
It's a Keystone College kickoff. Hazleton will get the ball first, and it goes down to Matt Casadis. Hit hard by John Stokla. And let's check out the Hazleton starting quarterback tonight. It will be a change. It is Kellen Warner. He is a 5'9" junior. Last week against Pottsville, he was 2 of 3 for 34 yards. He had the only touchdown of the game for the Cougars. So a little bit, speaking of nerves, how about the nerves for this junior right here making his debut as the starting quarterback?
Well, Coach Brennan has all the faith in the world in him, and he's going to do a great job. If he just settles down, and I'm sure Coach Brennan's going to try doing short passes just to try to get his nerves settled, and then just start pounding the ball with that big running back.
Cougars will start at their own 18. They'll throw it on their first down. Wide open over the middle, and there's Matt Fisher. What a great combination on the first play of the game. A nice 20-yard gain.
On this, you'll see that Kellen Warner just does a bootleg, rolls out to his right, which is natural. It's easier throw, and he finds who else? There he is, number 3, Matt Fisher for the reception and the first down.
First flag of the night comes in. It'll be offside against Valley West. Our official tonight, Earl Harris, out of the Wyoming Valley Conference. Good start for Hazleton. There you see the group of referees tonight. Of course, last week we talked about the total offense, just 75 yards total offense against Pottsville. And again, just 7 points per game. This is the team last year that was 6-6 overall, Hazleton area, and averaged 31 points per game.
Well, they had a great backfield last year. And we'll talk about that in a little while.
Back split next to Warner. Quick timeout for Hazleton area. So Coach Brennan didn't see something he liked. So again, we're just, only 46 seconds into this game. Now, time now to check out the Quad A Driving Academy starting lineup for Hazleton area. Lance Johnson will be the tailback, and Kevin Molesky will be the fullback. He had 5 carries last week for 28 yards. The wide receivers, well, you put Fisher back there, and suddenly they become a threat. Evan Mattias is a junior, and the tight end, Bryce Torstrup, he had a catch last year for just 4, so very inexperienced wide receivers and tight ends. Offensive line looks like this. Richie Santos, really the most experienced up there, with Jason Beaver on that left side as well, number 72. So after the timeout, Warner comes back out with the play. Rush from the outside. Oh, they get to him. Looks like Zach McDaniels, the senior, with the tackle.
Valley West is putting 11 guys in the box right now, and McDaniels just came right off the edge and put that pressure for the sack.
7-yard loss, puts the ball back inside the 35.
And right there, he's coming back with the play right now, 2nd and 13. Coach Brennan didn't want that to happen, but again, Valley West is going to challenge a freshman, or I shouldn't say a rookie quarterback, by putting that pressure on him.
Handoff goes to Molesky. Stopped on the defensive side by Jordan Evans. Here now are your Spartans, Quad A Driving Academy starting lineup. On the defense, giving up just 10 points per game. They'll play a 4-4. Evans, Torado, Andruskavich, and Murphy. Linebackers are pretty good, especially when you have Brandon Woods in there. John Stockla had 13 tackles. Zach McDaniels last year had 62 tackles. Secondary, pretty experienced. 2 juniors and a senior back there. Here's the secondary. So 3rd and long now. Plenty of time. In and out of the hands of Mattias, and it's intercepted. This is the Stansky. One man to beat. Warner gets a hand on him, but a big turnover for Hazleton area, and the Spartans will be 1st and goal at the 4. So this is what happened last week, Coach. Hazleton.
On this play, he has time. Warner has time. He sets his feet. He just tried to throw up over, and it was just a high ball, and it just tipped it. Number 5 tipped it right into number 9's hands for that pick.
He had plenty of time, didn't he, though?
He did. If you watch on that, he did. The offensive line did a nice job with their turn back protection, allowing him time to get set.
So a costly turnover for the Cougars. Dante Rhodes hands off to Brendan Woods, the fullback. He fights to the 1 as the Spartans are inside the Allied Services red zone.
It's always a tough time to start your defense after a turnover, especially at the 3-yard line. And Brendan Woods, you know he's going to get the ball. They're going to try to pound it, I would imagine, on this play, and then probably do something a little bit wider on the next.
Woods has stood up, but he powers his way in for a Spartan touchdown.
Touchdown, Spartans.
That touchdown, they ran right behind number 73, Brandon Tirado, 6'1", 314-pound senior. You'll see this right here. They get good leverage off the line. Their pads are low. Brendan Woods just kept those feet pumping and churning.
The senior's second touchdown of the year. Gillespie in for the extra point is good. So with 9:10 remaining in the first quarter, after the turnover, the Spartans cash in. They lead 7-0. Our spotlight player of the game, Brendan Woods, gets the Spartans on the board with a touchdown run, his second of the season. And boy, what more can you say about him? He played in the band before the game. I think he washed all the uniforms, right? He drove the bus over. What can't this kid do?
I don't think he does dishes. I think his mom said that's the one thing he could improve upon.
43, Tyler
Gillespie with another Keystone College kickoff. Gets his soccer leg into it. Casadis from his spot. Has room and can break out. Good speed by Casadis up to the 47. Good return. Let's see if this gets Hazleton started.
Well, that should give a spark back to the Cougars right now. Their kickoff return sets up 2 nice big holes in there that he had a choice to go through. That little stutter step right there, and then he just had, well, the kicker to beat, but good pursuit by number 8 right there for the Spartans.
Last week against Pottsville, 3 turnovers for the Cougars. Tonight, a quick turnover leads to more points.
You never, and again, you never want that, and they just have to let it go. Nice job with that zone read.
Lance Johnson carries the pass to 50.
Johnson on the carry.
Gain of 6, good push from the offensive line.
They did, they fired out nice and low, and that's what Coach Brennan said. He might not have that size, but he does feel that the kids, his offensive line has the speed and agility.
Coach Brennan also thought maybe going to Pottsville with a young team, it's a different atmosphere. They're not used to it. But coming here, some of the kids have been here before. It might settle them down a little bit. Looks like so far they have. If they don't beat themselves, Hazleton, it looks pretty good so far.
I think what history is going to dictate itself again here this evening. This game traditionally has been separated by, I think, 3 points over the last 2 years. And I know Coach Baranski said the same thing. He's worried that it's going to be a close game.
That win last year, Valley West won 21-20 down in Hazleton. 2017, Hazleton won right here, 17-15. Third down coming. Draw play, Johnson has it. Good gap for Johnson up to the 32-yard line. Gain of 15.
Johnson on the carry.
Offensive line does a tremendous job with the surge right there. They run that RPO, the run pass option. They just give that ball off, and that's just great running, tough running right there.
Well, the senior last year carried 45 times, 267 yards and 3 touchdowns. And we talked about what they lost in Ortiz and Sparky Wolk, right?
Yes, yes. Adrian Ontero.
Ontero, sorry.
Yeah. No, that's both good running backs that they had.
Warner pops out, and it's intercepted again by Garner. Garner ripped down, and another mistake for the young Cougar team.
Garner.
On this play, Kellen Warner just was, I believe, just in my opinion, was just trying to make something happen. He was trying to force the ball in there. Yes, that he was open, but he should have just tucked it and run. And I'm sure Coach Brennan's going to talk to him about that. He's got time. He pump fakes, rolls to his left. He's looking, and he could have just kept that ball just for the first down. And the jump ball, and there he is, number 2.
So 2 big interceptions for Valley West has cost the Cougars. Dante Rhodes in the shotgun. Big gaping hole up the middle. Darius Redguard with a big gain all the way to the 49-yard line of the Cougars.
To the 49-yard line.
And brought down by number 3, Matt Fisher. On this play, again, it's just the regular base dive, and they split that 4-4. Coach had them coming up tight, the inside linebackers, which created that huge void in the center.
Casadas trips them up, but not after a 41-yard gain. So the offensive line does the job there. Williams in motion. Redguard making something out of nothing. Pushes ahead. Here is Dante Rhodes. Second start, first start at home. He's a junior. Last week he was 4 of 12, 82 yards, had a touchdown. And he just looks like an athlete, and he can throw the ball pretty good.
He does. He's got a nice touch to him, and I know Coach Baranski said he can actually throw the ball, the long ball, just as well. I think Coach B was saying that he would like to try to do a short game. He wants it. Obviously, he's going to see what type of coverage they're playing.
He can also run the ball, stiff arm, and he's ripped down by Kevin Molesky. Here is the Quad A Driving Academy starting lineup for the Spartans. McDaniels and Woods will be in the backfield behind Rhodes. The wide receivers will be Garner and Nastansky, the tight end, John Stockla. Up front, 3 seniors, a junior and a sophomore. Nate Mooney in the middle. He's a returner. He's 5'10", 270 pounds. Fake inside. It goes to McDaniels. He surges ahead for a first down.
Number 26, Zach
That
McDaniels
offensive
on the
line they
carry.
have, number 73, Brandon Torado and Don Messersmith are both 300-pounders. And that's a lot of people to be moving.
Rhodes played sparingly last year and just had 7 carries and only 1 pass attempt. Nice job by the Cougar defense taking McDaniels down. Minimal gain. Looked like number 53, Jason Bugda in there. Here is your Quad A Driving Academy defensive lineup for the Cougars of Hazleton. They'll play a 4-4 as well. Santos, a senior in there, and followed by with a couple of juniors. The linebackers are pretty good, especially when you put Fisher now back there with DeBellis, Molesky, and Mattias. The secondary, and this is where the inexperience shows. We'll show you in a second. We have 2 freshmen and a sophomore back deep. In and out of the hands of Redguard.
Just going for that quick swing pass on that play.
Let's talk about that inexperience in the secondary. Coach Brennan had talked to you about that.
He said, I've got to go with it. We're going to have some growing pains. We have 2 freshmen and a sophomore. But again, you're always, as a coach, you're always going to put your best athletes on the field. So I know Coach said that Custis, he can move really quick, and he felt that Connor Shamani really can do a good job like one-on-one coverage.
But, you know, sophomore in there is Christian Price. He's at free safety.
And they have him playing center field, so he should be able to break to the ball.
Rhodes short hops that one. Nice job by the Cougar defense. A 4th down on the way. Will Coach Baranski go for it or try to pin him deep?
Part of the inexperience with that secondary is they've got to teach the secondary guys as they're backpedaling to be able to look at their receiver through to the quarterback to see which way he's throwing. Right now, Christian Price is playing deep center, and he's not sure. He's breaking a little bit too late, but he's just going to get better. As the season goes, these games go, that secondary is going to gain that valuable experience.
All right.
They want 4:11, I heard, on the clock. So we'll make a clock adjustment. And how about the throw by Rhodes? It looked like he didn't follow through good enough. He short hopped it.
He did. His footwork wasn't quite there. He just was forcing that in there. And again, especially on those swing passes, you've got to just keep your feet set and just let your upper body do the work.
So Spartans will go for it on 4th down. Blitz to the outside, and it goes for an incomplete pass going unbedded to the quarterback was Kevin Molesky.
Number 42.
On that play, they rotated their linebackers, inside-outside linebackers, switched their coverage, and he just does a great job coming in and just does a nice job with the wrap, forcing that.
They're on 36-yard line.
So the Cougars stop the Spartans after 2 turnovers, and let's see, the offense will come back out, and the offense have shown they can move the ball.
They just have to stop stopping themselves at this point. And I'm sure Coach Brennan had talked to the offensive guy saying, look, they're not stopping us, we are. So I would hope this play, this series, is going to be key for the Cougars.
So Warner comes back out underneath center. Back to Johnson for a yard.
They just ran a little power play right there, pulling the right tackle.
Lance Johnson on the carry.
Leo Kelly, and number 42, lead blocking, Kevin Molesky.
A lot of times in a game like this where it's hot and humid, we look at how many players are playing both ways. What did you see?
I've seen, well, they have 6. Both teams have 6. And that last offensive series, they only used Brendan very sparingly. He came out 3 times in that series.
Three wideouts. Quick pass hits the dirt. Casadis couldn't pull it in. And really had nothing there to go to run on if he did catch the ball. So 3rd down now coming up.
Trying to go with that quick out, quick swing pass right out to the slot man. Just trying to make something go one-on-one. Hopefully breaks to the outside. A lot of receivers will try to then come back to the inside where all their defensive help is.
Coach Brennan not happy trying to get players in and out. Of course, this is what happens when you have a young team.
Young team, 2nd game of the year.
Yep. Now Casadis comes back in.
That's all right.
Got to call timeout.
Little frustration.
Yep. Yeah, Coach Brennan not happy.
Hazleton timeout.
And here are your Grotto Pizza keys to the game for the Cougars. Continuity on offense, ball security.
Well, Coach, you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
Let's get it done, and it's up to these young men right there that you see on your screen.
We have seen continuity on offense.
We have. They're moving the ball.
We have not seen ball security.
No, well,
well, they haven't fumbled.
No, they haven't. That's what I say, ball security, I think of fumbles. Again, you have that young, inexperienced quarterback. He's just got to settle down, and he'll be fine.
I would think Coach Brennan, except for the 2 turnovers, is a little bit happier this week than he was last week.
Oh, absolutely. He's already gained, I think, as many yards.
Yeah.
Just in the first quarter than he did all that last week against Pottsville. Now, again, Pottsville's a very good team, as we know. We're expecting high things from them.
.329 left in the first quarter. Warner with a lot of time. He's going to lay it out. He's got Fisher. He just underthrew it. If he threw that over Fisher's head, Fisher would be in there for a touchdown. Instead, goes for an incomplete pass.
Coach Kaharski, they could use you right now because he's just floating that ball up there. He's just got to step through. He's just got to finish with his follow-through. If everybody, all the fans out there watch, he's just stopped and he's jumping with the ball. He's just got to keep those feet set, snap the hips, and then throw thumb down.
Something to talk about at halftime, maybe make the adjustments in the game because it is there for the Cougars. They just have to take advantage of it.
The right plays are being called.
Rugby-style kick for Luke Russo, and go end over end. Valley West will end up with excellent field position at their own 44.
Luke Russo on the punt.
Here you Grotto, keys to the game for the Spartans.
First down for the Spartans.
Right now they're up 1, right?
Yes, they are. They've had 2 turnovers,
Yeah.
so they are winning that battle.
Stopping the run and being physical. Have we seen that?
They're being physical. They haven't really focused in on that run because right now, Lance Johnson was doing a nice job of gashing them in there.
Toss to Williams, cuts it back, sheds a couple tackles. Beats Fisher, nice run for Jeremiah
Number
Williams,
4,
the junior.
Jeremiah Williams on the carry. First down for the
Looks like he
Spartans.
gains about 15 yards.
Defensive end Max Barrett does a nice job coming down, squeezing. He reads it. He didn't over pursue. He peels off. He's just got to wrap. And we always stress that to our players that we want to wrap, grab cloth, and you want to just got to get gang tackling, not watching.
So nice gain for the Spartans inside Cougar territory again. They've been there in every possession. They've only scored 1. Back to McDaniels. Fisher with the tackle, gain of 3.
McDaniels on the carry.
That was a good heads-up play by McDaniel to see that the offensive line, the hole wasn't there, bounced it to the outside.
There is Coach Baranski. Of course, first season here, but he's been around here for, 10 years. Defensive coordinator for many years under Pat Keating. Of course, Coach Keating got a different job within the school district, right?
Yes, he did. He was reassigned. Oh, boy.
Rhodes is off to the races, and Dante Rhodes will score a Valley West touchdown.
Touchdown.
.41 yards for the junior QB.
Talk about a 41-yard scamper on this. Now, you'll watch. He just keeps it. They sealed down, and the fullback kicked out, and that opened it up. The outside linebacker committed too soon.
So the extra point will make it 14-0. Gillespie in. And the senior puts it through for his second PAT of the evening. 2:24 left in the first quarter. 2-touchdown lead for Wyoming Valley West.
Imagine getting a nurse's aid scholarship and tuition assistance while getting paid as a CNA. Allied Services has excellent career opportunities for RNs, LPNs, and CNAs. Visit allied-services.org/careers today.
wvwfootball.com for all your Spartan apparel needs.
So back to work for the Cougars. They will get the ball, and they've had good field position to begin a couple of drives. They started their first drive at the 18, the next drive at their own 47, and the other drive at the 36. So they've had the opportunities. We've seen them move the ball down the field methodically, running and passing.
Yes.
But they have 2 turnovers, and now they're down 14-0.
And
there is Dante Rhodes as well.
And Valley West converted on one of those. And again, the Cougars just have to settle it down a little bit. Again, that inexperience that we talk about, and we've got to make sure. And I know Coach Brennan does a wonderful job getting these kids coached up and understanding that, look, just take one play at a time. Let the pass be the pass.
Say this number 13.
You hear the Valley West band, which performed in pregame. The Hazleton area band is across the way. Good size on them. Nice crowd here on a beautiful night in Kingston. 2 weeks of two great weeks of weather. I hope I don't jinx it now as we go to Tunkhannock next week.
Allie Debicki said that we've had 5 weekends without rain, so.
Little squibber, Matt Fisher picks it up. He'll start from about a 16. nice carry.
Good field position.
Yep, past the 30 up to the 33. So Warner back on, maybe just trying to do a little bit too much.
Especially on that last turnover. Here's Matt Fisher, wasn't expecting that ball to come to him. He reads that really well and does a nice job gaining that extra yardage to give the Cougars good field position. Yeah, Kellen's that turnover when he was they were down here deep in the red zone. He just had to just tuck it up and go, and I'm sure Coach addressed that to him.
Read option. Warner with a nice gain.
On that last play, you saw that, Bob. You called that RPO, the run pass option. And sometimes the quarterbacks have a tendency to always option the ball as opposed to keeping it. So that's good. That might settle him down a little bit. Now he feels as though, okay, I got my first hit in, and I'm good to go.
As Coach Koharski says, don't lose me the game. You don't have to win me the game. Just don't
lose
me
the
game.
game.
Here comes the blitz. Johnson with a nice hole first down up to the 46.
The Cougars did a real nice job picking that inside blitz up. And you see the fullback leading up through, blows up that linebacker, and Lance Johnson was able to get a 6-yard gain on that.
Junior James Bugda, the center, picked up Brendan Woods coming on the blitz.
180 versus 215 right there. And James Bugda, center for Cougars, did a nice job.
180 being the center.
The center, yes.
Not the linebacker. 4 wideouts in this time. Warner holds on to the ball into Spartan territory one more time. Gain of 8.
Tackle, quarterback keeper.
Well, Coach Brendan on that went with a balanced set, 2 receivers on each side. So that naturally sets up that RPO real nice. And that was a real nice read by Kellen Warner.
It's tough to foul on offense last year. They finished 6-6 at Hazleton. I talked about 31 points per game. They average pretty balanced attack, 183 in the run, 189 through the air. And we talked about what they lost, which it's tough to come back from that. I mean, they had a nice offense last year.
Inside trap right there for Lance Johnson. But again, Sparky Wolk, I remember his debut was actually against me when I was at Tunkhannock as a freshman, and we thought for sure we could get that pressure on him. And he developed into a great quarterback, and he had a great talent around him. And his last one was Adrian Ontero, who's at Maine right now.
Coach Brennan challenged his offensive line in practice, and they're doing a nice job so far. But 2 turnovers by the Cougars has cost them as Valley West will end the first quarter up 14 over Hazleton. Back for quarter number 2 after this.
Friday Night Rivals is always happy to give some recognition to the standout scholar athletes, and the Figured Law Firm joins us every week with the Figured Law Firm Scholar Athletes. First from Hazleton, her name is Marissa Trivalpiece, and we talk about her a lot in the spring because she's a standout on the softball team for the Cougars that went all the way to the state finals last year. Also a member of the National Honor Society, Future Business Leaders, Student Council. She's the leading scorer on the basketball team. She's a volunteer for Read with the Cougars, a volunteer coach and umpire, terrific player in softball. She will attend Michigan State on a softball scholarship. For Wyoming Valley West, it's Brendan Woods. We've talked a lot about him tonight. He's a captain, a 3-year starter. He led the conference last year in tackles. His class rank, number 1. He is the class president. He plays multiple musical instruments. Before the game, he was in the marching band playing the French horn, which he is all-state in that. Future Business Leaders, National Honor Society, a Head Start volunteer. So a terrific young athlete. So congratulations to our 2 Figured Law Firm scholar athletes. From Wyoming Valley West, it's Brendan Woods, and from Hazleton, it's Marissa Trivalpiece.
Thank you, Paul. Of course, Hazleton area went to the finals in 6A softball last year. They did lose it, but what a great run for them, and she will be back with that team under Bob Bertoni's direction. And of course, what more can you say about Brendan Woods than visiting MIT last week?
Yeah, that's a pretty smart school, I think.
drove by it. I drove by it. Good job by the defense. 3rd and long on the way.
Talking with Brendan before the game, and he wants to go into the engineering field. He's not sure which branch, but that's what he's leaning towards.
Messersmith.
So another 3rd and long coming up for the Cougars.
Third and 9.
Warner feeling the rush. Gets it away. Did have a receiver down there to get it to. It was number 6 down there, Connor Chamonix.
You see the pressure coming from Jordan Evans right there. Number 72 for the Cougars, Justin Beaver, just couldn't keep his feet moving. And I know Coach Brennan's an offensive line guy, and he knows the key to offensive line play is move your feet and hands.
Number 15, Russo, back to punt.
Russo back to punt. Nice high hanging one. Fumble, ball's on the turf. It looks like Hazleton has it.
Martin fumble.
I thought Garner called for the fair catch. I guess they didn't see a hand. And Cougars will get the ball inside the red zone at the 10.
Fumble recovered by number 30.
Right there, that was a great job by number 11 on that stick. That was beautiful.
Christian Price.
Christian Price laid that in there.
So Price with a nice hit. As the ball
Look
hits
at that.
Garner's.
That's beautiful. That's textbook. Head across, hit with the shoulder, wrap the arms.
From the Allied Services red zone, the Cougars. Lance Johnson to this about the 6. So an opportunity now for Hazleton to convert on a turnover themselves.
And this will make for a great ball game right now if they punch this one in early in the second. Give that Cougars a lot of confidence, which is what they're lacking right now.
Woods on the tackle.
Couple of things going on here. Do they run it or do they try to get Warner out? What do you think the play call might be? What have you seen so far?
I think they're going to go RPO, and I think Warner's going to keep it. Little delay.
Yeah, delay. And a nice job by big number 95, Jordan Evans, to pull down Johnson of a loss of a yard.
Well, on that play, they were trying to set it up that they were hoping that the Spartans would over pursue for the cutback. And good discipline by Jordan Evans on that.
33, Johnson on the
Might have to go to the air here if you're Coach Brennan.
Well, he did open up with that bootleg to start, so he may come back to that. Got that trip set.
Yep, tied in to the far side, movement up front. There was a left legal motion. Looked like the tight end on the right-hand side moved early.
We have a false start. Offense. Repeat. 3rd down.
Again, the mistakes that the Cougars are making are hurting them.
They're stopping themselves.
Yes.
And we talked to Coach Baranski earlier about that and saying, okay, what's on your hit sheet? What's on your call card when you have 3rd and 20 or 4th and 15?
So Warner will go into the shotgun. Gets a little bit of pressure. To the end zone, tried to squeeze it in. To Fisher, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Josh Kennedy in the end zone.
By number 11, Josh Kennedy.
Kellen Warner is just forcing the ball where he shouldn't. He should just, on that play, he should have just run it because it would have been 2 down territory.
Here you look at it again.
Right here, he has it. He could have I'm sure he could outrun number 55 right there, defensive lineman, but
20-yard line.
he's trying to make too much happen too soon. Here we go. He's rolling, rolling, rolling. It was 42, excuse me, Brendan.
Nice catch, though, by Kennedy in the end zone. He almost pulled it in with one hand. So out of that, they're going to load up Rhodes, and he overshoots Garner. He's looking for something, maybe a hold. I like the play call, being aggressive after a turnover.
Well, that's what we like to do, because you figure the kid's psyche is down, so we're going to strike it while we're hot.
There's the Spartan crowd. School's back in session.
Student section.
USA theme tonight. Yep. Rhodes hurt himself.
He's hurt. He went down and he.
No whistle.
No whistle.
Picked
Put
up.
it in.
They're going to call a touchdown.
On the play, Hazleton touchdown.
Valley West players are a little disbelief right now because there was no whistle. Even though their player is hurt, the ball did come out before he hit the ground.
Johnny DeBellis, the junior, picked up the ball. Rhodes in obvious pain. I hope he's okay. But look at this again. You can obviously see what happens.
It's right in there. He went down. His knee, he probably, he's holding his hip. So maybe it's a hip pointer. But again, look at number 30.
Yeah.
There was no whistle. We always tell the kids, play to the whistle. Good pursuit.
And he's not touched. No one touches him. And his
looking,
knee's not down.
No.
Advance the ball. So a couple things going on there. We hope Rhodes is okay. The medical staff is out. Hazleton scores a touchdown.
Parents, save money on your car insurance. Quad A Driving Academy is a certified PennDOT third-party tester. We have helped over 10,000 new drivers become safe and confident licensed drivers. Save money by checking us out at quadadrive.com.
So Dylan Nastansky is the backup quarterback. He's a 5'8" senior, starting wide receiver. There you see he's taking the snaps. And boy, this will change the whole complexion of the game from an offensive standpoint for the Spartans if you lose Rhodes.
Because how much of the offense does he really know?
Right.
Especially when it comes to if he's a receiver, how much does he really pay attention to the run game in there? I don't think he's gotten too many reps at first team, but this is what I talked about in the pregame, that the next man up mentality, they have to be ready to go. And Valley West is fortunate this year. They have 57 players on the sideline, or excuse me, on their team. So they do have some depth.
So obviously some time for Dante Rhodes, and it didn't look good. He immediately felt the pain. And we'll take a timeout as we check in on Dante Rhodes. The Spartans on their knees, and we'll see how he's doing after this.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by the legendary taste of Grotto Pizza, a northeastern Pennsylvania favorite since 1953. Order online now at www.grottopizzapa.com.
Well, Dante Rhodes placed on the gator right there, being talked to by one of the assistant coaches. The athletic trainer is down there as well, and I can't see if they have something. Well, I think he had that black thing on his leg when he was playing. So
he did.
Obviously upset the young man, making his home debut here for his Spartan team. And here, look at it again.
As he's coming down the line, it was quarterback keep all the way. And you just see all of a sudden his right leg, to me, I'm not a doctor, I'm not the team trainer. I'm not sure if it was a knee or a hip because he's holding his hip right now.
Well, we hope that young man is okay. Back to the game. It will go as a Hazleton touchdown. They're going to kick the extra point here.
interesting turn of events with that. And again, if that score, he looked at it, there was no whistle, and he was just like, okay, I'll take the ball and let me go in.
Luke Russo on for the extra point is up. Nice hold by Matt Fisher, and it will be good. So the score is cut in half for Hazleton on the fumble.
Valley West 14, Hazleton
It's
7.
14-7, 8:10 remaining in this half, and really, boy, you get an injury like that, kind of deflates the whole crowd now.
It does, and the way the band will probably start playing right now, cheerleaders will start cheerleading, trying to get that student section back into it. But Dante, from what Coach Baranski said, he's an energetic guy, and he has a lot of personality that the kids like, and they flock to him. So I think they're going to rally against him, or with him, to try to get the Spartans a spark right now to get this going.
Next week, we will be at Tunkhannock. They'll take on Pittston area. The Patriots being shut out tonight by Berwick 26-0.
And the Tigers were up, last I checked, 14-7 against Nanticoke.
Just down the road against Nanticoke, right. And Old Forge is leading Hanover area 20-0. That's in the second quarter as well.
You just saw on the screen Doug Mucha. He's the defensive coordinator for Valley West. And this one I said I'm getting old, Bob. I coached him at Kings years ago, and along with Rob Blessing, who is a state trooper right now, who's like 6'8", he's just like as big as a tree.
Just across the river, Wilkes-Barre is playing Scranton for the first time ever. That's awesome, right?
And they scored defensively for the first touchdown, I believe, last week.
14-0 Wilkes-Barre,
Yeah.
looking for their first win ever as a combined school. So we'll see them against Wallen-Paulpack later on in the year. But they played well against Crestwood last week.
They did.
Lost in overtime.
And Coach Cinto Siri does a tremendous job working the psyche of the kids. That's I think, one of his strong points, along with how well he knows football, X's and O's. But to take a total of 3 schools, combine them, and get them to understand it's not the Heights anymore, it's not the Plains people, it's
Right.
just we are Wilkes-Barre.
So Russo has it teed up for the Keystone College kickoff. Nice high kick.
Nice cutback.
Taken by Garner. And a flag comes in. He'll be down at the 25. We'll check out what the flag is for. And now we'll see. Going out quarterback, Dylan Nastansky, number 9. And we'll see how this changes the offense of what they were going to do with the Spartans on offense,
Well,
or their game plan was.
well, I think if I was Coach Baranski,
Well, there's the signal from Earl. We didn't hear from him, though.
it sounded like me talking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I think if I was the offensive coordinator right now, I wouldn't be too worried because the way you got that guy, number 42, Brendan Woods in the backfield, and Zach McDaniels, they've been running the ball really well. So maybe they'll go to their power game now where the quarterback's just going to be handing off.
They do set up in the eye. Cougars with a nice job on defense shooting in a couple yards for McDaniel. He loses his helmet. He'll have to go off. Now you can be more aggressive if you're Hazleton area on defense.
Absolutely. They're taking a little bit of that pass threat away. But again, that's the unknown. You don't know the X factor of Dylan Nastansky right in there now, what his strengths are.
But he is a senior. Woods is a senior. McDaniel's is a senior. So these are where those guys, the leaders, have to come up.
That's
you
what-
know,
that's
can't
what
get
you
the
want.
team down because you lose Rhodes.
The senior leadership. If it's not me, it's got to be you.
Give it a red guard. He's driven out of bounds.
There he is, red guard
On the tackle, again, number 30, DeBellis.
And number 3 right here, they just go with that outside zone. And those guys, I'll tell you what, he tried to sidestep, and they weren't having any part of it. The Cougar defense is actually playing really stout right now. That touchdown did them a world of good.
So let's see if Hazleton now sends the house on the new quarterback. Yeah, they will send a bunch in. Nastansky, nice hole. He's got room to run. inside Cougar territory. Nice job by Nastansky all the way down to the 43-yard line.
Well, there's that X factor. You're not sure what the young man can bring to this. And they just do a great job with the quarterback lead. The offensive line opened up a hole. He just picked it and he went. And right there is inexperience at Christian Price where he just tried to arm tackle and he just stopped his feet.
37-yard gain for the quarterback. Those are the third downs. If you're Hazleton area, you need to get off the field on defense, right?
You don't want that, especially when your first two plays you've pinned them in.
Woods a bull run. He's hard to take down. Gain of 5.
Brandon Woods on the run.
Well, we said he's got 2 300-pounders in front of him. Look at that offensive line with the backside guard pulled, trapped, and that opened it up for Big Brendan to get in there and start running.
Coach Baranski talked about the physicality he wanted to see from his team. This is where you're going to see it now.
Absolutely. This is Smash Mouth Wyoming Valley West football.
6 minutes to play in the half. Molesky shoots in. Takes down Nastansky for a loss.
On the keeper.
On this play, you'll see Nastansky just tries to, he's going to roll, and then again, Molesky just was keying him the whole time. And there's number 25 coming in, team tackling.
Molesky had 39 tackles a year ago for the Cougars. Another big third down. Here comes the blitz again. Stansky rolls out, finds Garner, nice catch. Garner with a couple of moves down to the 15-yard line.
Number 2, Nasir Garner, Spartan first down.
Well, Nasir Gardner on this play does a tremendous job getting those yaks the yard after the catch. Ball was a little bit behind him. He does a nice job, spins to the inside, then makes a cut back in. And he picked up another 12 yards after he caught the ball.
24 yards. They're inside the Allied Services red zone. Trips left. McDaniels.
McDaniels on the carry.
The Cougars' defensive line did a nice job of playing gap control. They didn't over-pursue, and they were able to stop him for a short gain.
We talked about Warner on the other side. You don't have to win us the game. Don't lose us the game. Same exact thing for number 9 now, right?
Exactly. It's just I think Coach Baranski has a little bit easier time with that, having the 2 running backs that he does right now in his backfield. Oh, and also that wonderful receiver he has out there. Nice threat.
Bobble the ball, but there's that Molesky kid again. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Kevin Molesky is only a junior, and he's doing a tremendous job tonight with his reads and his tackles.
Third down, 10.
Valley West offensive line having trouble picking up that.
They are. And again, they're bringing 1 or 2 of the inside linebackers each time. You don't know which one's coming, so it is a guessing game. Go with that inside slip screen.
Inside screen, but Cougars are there to read it.
I don't know, Bob, if you've noticed that they have been going unbalanced on this. This set. Wyoming Valley West is bringing their right tackle over to the left side, and they have a tight end, number 34, playing at the tackle spot on the right side. So they're trying to play power, and that's why they ran that slip screen right back inside.
Okay, you see Coach Baranski's going to take a timeout. Let's talk about the field goal kicker, Tyler Gillespie. We talked to the coach before the game just about this, right? This opportunity, this soccer player who just came out, he's a senior. We said, how far?
35 yards.
35 yards.
He said he ended it at a 35-yarder and said, okay.
Timeout, Spartan.
Casey Daniel Smile Cam.
10 yards to go.
Well, they're happy right now. Their team is up 14-7. USA night, a lot of red, white, and blue in the stands tonight for the Spartan Crazies. I think we have to get Paul up there. Paul, I think has to go into the Spartan Crazies. Very nice. The cheerleaders were here early, practicing as well for their halftime routine. A lot of smiles there. Their first home game of the season for Wyoming Valley West on a beautiful night for high school football. We are in Kingston, Luzerne County. This is a Wyoming Valley Conference matchup between two big schools. Hazleton 6A, right? And
yes.
And Valley West 5A.
Yes.
Are they both 6A?
I
now?
thought they were both 6, Coach.
No, Valley West is 5A.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, this is huge then for them in terms of power points.
Yep.
Playing a larger school like that.
Yeah, Valley West did not make the playoffs last year. In fact, Wallenpaupack won the sub-regional, right, in 5A. So trying to make that sub-regional again, Valley West. Right now, East Stroudsburg South and Southern Lehigh and Valley West all tied at 1-0. Out to Red Guard. Red Guard on fourth down is going to be knocked out of bounds, and the ball will go over on downs to the Cougars after the 5-yard gain.
Red Guard. Hazleton will take over. 1st and 10.
So the Cougars hold, and they'll get the ball back, pinned deep in their own end zone, though.
Well, Coach, Bob, we've talked about timeout management, and again, when they needed it, that's why Coach Brennan took them. And I'm sure right now he would like to have at least one more of those back.
So with 2:53 remaining, if you're Hazleton, no turnovers. Maybe try to get a little bit of the fielding back. Maybe run it out. If you're Valley West, you want to make the stop, get the ball back, try to score before the half.
Well, right there, they just go with a little power play on to our right side, the offense's right side. Just try to get some breathing room in there.
I believe that was Molesky on the carry. He had picked up 5. Time ticking down.
Nowhere, Lance Johnson.
Big number 99, Jameer Murphy, 270-pound senior, gets the tackle.
The Cougars just tried running an ISO play off the right tackle with no success.
3rd down, 4 to go.
2 timeouts left for Wyoming Valley West. No reason to use them quite yet. You make a stop here, you get the ball back.
Well, it's not like the NFL where there's a 2-minute warning and it stops.
Warner back into the shotgun. Roll him out. And hits Fisher with a nice pass. Belted out of bounds by Garner, but the clock will stop.
Pass complete to number 3, Matt
On that
Fisher.
play, Kellen Warner did a real nice job rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback and shoots a dart in there, which is what I guess he can do. And like Coach Koharski said, just do what you got to do and we'll be fine.
I think we've seen the move for Matt Fisher back out pay some dividends so far.
In the first half already,
Yeah.
he's had some key receptions, and he's getting the respect. He's bringing their best defensive player out on him.
Draw to Johnson.
On the draw play, you always want to try to influence that defensive line to over-pursue. So you want to let them in a little more, but good defensive discipline for that defensive line for the Spartans on that play.
Coach Brennan just wants to get out down 7. Coach Baranski is not going to call his timeouts. Do you call them and make Hazleton keep playing, maybe get a turnover?
Well, I think Coach Baranski right now is thinking, you know what, we're going to stop them, and they got to kick the ball off to start the 3rd quarter.
Well, they get a 40-second clock after this play. They can run it down.
Big number 99.
Yep. Murphy again. And this is, Coach Baranski, timeout. Make them, I would make them, a couple plays. Make them use their timeouts, use their plays.
And right now, Coach Baranski's probably thinking, you know what? let's put the pressure on their punter. Let's stop them, make them punt. Maybe it'll be a bad snap. I'm sure Coach Brennan right now is talking to his team saying, look, just play your assignment. Don't try to do anything you're not supposed to do.
Here, what's coming up on the Toyota halftime report, we'll go inside to the Fox 56 News team, check out what's coming up on the Fox 56 News 1st and 10. We'll talk to our major sponsor from Allied Services. Paul Grippy will have that interview, and then Coach and I will be back to give you some first half highlights and break down what's going to happen maybe in the second half. That's coming up on the Toyota halftime report. Back here, 33 seconds left. One timeout left for both teams. And it is 3rd and 10. Ooh. Warner trying to get out of bounds, doesn't. Coach Baranski calls his final timeout and make them punt the ball.
Spartan timeout.
Well, good job by Warner not to get rid of it, first of all, right? That's
right,
the
he
first
didn't
thing.
force it. And again, you have to ask Coach Karski about this. When you have a right-handed quarterback and you're going to force him to go to his left, that's a really tough throw to try to set that up. But he did. He was very smart that time. He did. He just said, there's nothing there. I'm just going to try to get the best, and he got right back to the line of scrimmage.
We heard from Paul Grippy at halftime. Check in, see how Dante Rhodes is as well, as they carted the starting quarterback for Valley West off this field midway through the second quarter. And that's where we stand now, 14-7. And both coaches talked about how these games are always close. Coming in, you would think Valley West had the advantage. They had a nice win. Hazleton area didn't look very good, but
And the physical size,
yeah,
you got to go with Valley West because their kids, they've got some big kids. But the Cougars are playing tough.
Russo, this one he's just going to hold down. Nice job to kick it off the left-hand side. Takes a huge Cougar bounce. I don't know what the Valley West guy is doing over there.
I'm sure he's going to get a talking to by the special teams coach on that.
Get out of the way. So the ball will end up at the 28-yard line. Connor Oslewski is over there. Not sure why. That's just a disaster waiting to happen.
And again, he is a sophomore.
Yeah.
So maybe he was, again, he doesn't have to try. It's not like the NFL where he's trying to make the roster.
Right.
He's already on the team, and he's a starter. The coach is saying something. Come on, you're smarter than that. Get away from the ball.
Valley West will just set up in the victory formation, take a knee. See if Coach Brennan will use his final timeout.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he will, and that will take us into halftime. So 3 turnovers in the game, 2 timeouts, 2 touchdowns, I should say. Off those, and now Paul Grippy with Coach Baranski.
Okay, Coach, you had to make a quarterback change in that half. How comfortable do you think Dylan is with the offense?
Dylan's a fantastic kid. He's worked there all summer, and he'll be ready to go. He'll be fine.
Any kind of changes because he's the quarterback? Would it be more on the ground, less passing, anything?
No, we don't change anything at that point. Dylan's capable, and he'll just take over.
How do you feel about your team's play in the first half?
I thought we were a little sloppy. We had our moments, and we have to clean some things up.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half. And, well, Wyoming Valley West still has the lead, even though he felt like it was sloppy.
Both teams could say that as well. So we go into the half with the score 14-7. When Coach and I return in a few minutes, we'll have first half highlights and get you ready for the third quarter.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Halftime continues at Friday Night Rivals, and we step away from the stadium, and we're at Allied Services campus in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and joined by Bill Conaboy, the president and CEO of Allied Services. Bill, Allied has grown into such an enormous presence in northeastern Pennsylvania over the years. What makes it such a special and unique organization?
I appreciate you saying that, because we really have grown over the past 61 years. And I honestly believe Allied Services is one of the most unique healthcare systems in the country. And here's why. First, because we embrace our not-for-profit status, and we're committed to our mission. And as part of that mission, and as a not-for-profit, actually we're owned by the communities where we serve. And that right now is about 25 counties in Northeast and Central Pennsylvania. We're also governed by a volunteer board of community leaders. And those community leaders have allowed us, as management here at Allied Services, to reinvest millions of dollars into our facilities, into technology, and most importantly, into our people. And speaking of our people, you know, people don't realize we have nearly 4,000 employees living, working, recreating, worshiping, and being involved in the communities where they live. So we love that our employees are a huge part of this community. And then, of course, the services that we offer. Again, I don't think many people realize that right here in our valley are two of the top rehab hospitals in the country, consistently ranked that by outside agencies. Also, within those hospitals, we have our new state-of-the-art transitional units, which allow people that maybe don't need the level of care in our hospitals to stay in our transitional units for a short period of time and try to get them home. And as well, we have our skilled nursing facilities. At this point, we have nearly 500 skilled nursing beds. And we offer services in those skilled nursing facilities that no one else offers. State-of-the-art ventilator units, Alzheimer's care, wound care, etc. We're very proud of those. Also ranked within the top skilled nursing facilities in this country. Then our other services, of course, home health, where we bring medical professionals into the home throughout this community. Our in-home services, which we bring non-medical people into the home to help people to stay at home and live their lives as best they can. We have 18 outpatient clinics, again located throughout northeastern and central Pennsylvania, with just outstanding clinicians there that offer speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. Then we also have vocational training, behavioral health, mental health, all those services, again, which many people aren't aware of. Most recently, we entered the hospice service for this community. We built a beautiful new inpatient hospice, and we provide hospice in home. So we do so many different things that I'm not aware of many healthcare systems throughout the country that do all those. As well, in thinking about it, we have a school located on our campus here in Scranton for children with special needs that maybe other school systems aren't able to provide. So we do so many different things, and we bring so much to this community that I'm really honored to play a small role here at Allied Services.
Well, really, it's a part of our lives, because over the course of your life, you either know someone or maybe you yourself who will have an Allied Services and go to an Allied facility at some point. Bill Conboy, the President and CEO of Allied Services in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for your support and the work that you do. And we'll be back with more Halftime right after this on MyTV WQMY.
Okay, I'm with Hazleton head coach. It's a lot different from last week. So what do you want to communicate to your players at halftime down by 7?
We have to finish runs. We got to get stops on defense. You know, we were in a bad place a little bit in the first half. We had a break. We were able to stay in the game. And to be a 14-7 game right now, our kids have energy. We have to get a stop here defensively, but we have to play, finish runs, and finish this game.
And what about Kellen, his first half as the starting quarterback? What kinds of tips and things did you talk to him about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think some of the things that happened were his fault. I mean, he's a competitor. He's tough. He makes things happen. I have total confidence in him in the field, and he'll be out in the second half.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach. And we'll get set for the second half in another minute. But first, Bob, tell us about the first half.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Coach Brennan. Before the game, Allied Services presented the principal of Wyoming Valley West a check for $250 on hand for Allied was Mary Thoreau and her daughter and a friend. Mary is the Wyoming Valley West Middle School nurse. She also works as an RN for Allied Services, so a check for $250. And we thank Allied Services for doing that tonight. It's 14-7 at the half. Bob Ide, Jan Sechak on hand. Take time now, Coach, to take a look at the first half highlights. Paul talked about Kellen Warner. He looked pretty good early on, hitting Matt Fisher.
He did. You look right there, and then just a couple little things. I know Coach has all the confidence in the world in him, but he made some mistakes, and that's bound to happen with the first-year quarterback.
Nastansky with a nice return on that, and then Woods with the first touchdown of the night.
Just punching it in there, and this is a great return.
Michael Casadis
sets up the Cougars for a real nice field position, tough running.
But again, Warner forced it. Garner picks it off, but the Cougars did settle down and actually stop that drive after Garner returned that. Big run.
That one kind of hurt them a little bit, but again, they were playing really tough. Right here, I was a little disappointed in watching the lack of some effort. I know Coach Brennan will get on his kids, say fly to the ball. Huge hit there by sophomore Christian Price for Hazleton.
Casadis with the recovery. After that, Valley West.
And that's the injury.
Yep.
And you see him grab it. And again, this is just, okay, the whistle didn't blow. Go, go, go. And there was the lone touchdown for the Cougars.
Yeah, on that play, Dante Rhodes, the junior quarterback for Wyoming Valley West, was in obvious pain, dropped the ball. And they picked up the ball, ran it in for their only touchdown. Johnny DeBellis, no word on Dante Rhodes, was carted off. But Dylan Nastansky will come in at quarterback for Wyoming Valley West.
Will receive the kickoff in the second half.
Here are the standings going into tonight. As we talked about, is a sub-regional for District 2 and 11. East Stroudsburg South, Southern Lehigh, Wyoming Valley West, all tied up there at 1-0. Wallenpaupack, the defending champ, 0-1.
And we know Wallenpaupack is going to be in their rebuilding year. Pocono Mountain East always has a tough schedule. This is going to be huge for Wyoming Valley West. If this game goes to fruition the way Coach Bransky wants it, they're going to get those extra power points tonight.
So the Keystone College kickoff will be Luke Russo for Hazleton area. Valley West won the toss but deferred. So Nasir Garner back to receive, along with Jeremiah Williams. So the second half underway here in Kingston. This is Garner. Still running, couple break tackles, and he's showing some speed getting to the corner. Hazleton takes him down at the 38.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he can stop on a dime. He can make that happen. A little shake and bake action there. A little Shady McCoy. Does a nice job, gets that at the 13, stops, breaks, goes to the left, jukes again. We need better gang tackling. I know Coach Brennan emphasizes that.
You have some stats from the first half, Coach?
Yes. Wyoming Valley West, 19 rushes for 144 yards, 29 yards passing.
Flag comes in. This one's coming back, I believe. There's the initial call from Earl Harris.
Hazleton, okay, last week only had 73 yards total offense. Tonight they have 19 carries for 52 yards and 28 yards in passing.
And they do have 3 turnovers through the air. Valley West has that 1 turnover that turned into a Cougar touchdown. This will back up the Spartans now. Dylan Nastansky in at quarterback for Dante Rhodes. Threw the ball pretty well. Just get it to your playmakers, I think, if you're the quarterback.
Well, and again, when you have those running backs back there that Valley West has, that makes it a lot easier.
He did have 2 rushes for 20 yards. Throwing over the middle and in and out of the hands of Jeremiah Williams, who was open over the middle.
Stansky's pass.
And Nastansky set up, had good feet, had nice delivery of the ball. There's a good offensive line. Look at that double team, 73-55, keeping pressure off. He was able to step in.
What do you teach the receivers to catch the ball? Hands out?
Hands out. You want to have that diamond, index, thumb to thumb. A little bit of a space in between them, not quite touching. Look the ball in.
Got to watch the Valley West body language. They feel like they're in it since they lost Rhodes. You know, they're getting down now on themselves. I think that's something to watch for in the second half. Try it, a long pass again. Into double coverage. Here comes a late flag. Late flag. Connor Olszewski's back to receive. And Christian Price, the sophomore, might have got in his face a little bit. Let's see what this call is and how it goes.
I think there was a little bit of contact when the ball was in the air. They're saying no flag? Oh, here we go.
Defensive pass interference on White.
So that will gain, what, 15 yards and a first down. Here it is again.
Here it is. We're stepping up. Let's right there, you can see they were battling. Number 5 had his hands on his jersey. He's got to learn to get that head turned around. And again, we usually teach the kids, the cornerbacks, to get their hands on their hips, the receiver's hips.
Evan Mattias called on that. So after the call, no automatic first down. Second down on the way. Call it 5 yards.
Just a little bit Cougar defense doesn't look like they're quite set.
Direct snap to Woods. Up for a couple.
Brendan Woods on the carry.
Power football coming your way, courtesy of Wyoming Valley West. That's one thing Coach Baranski had talked about, being physical, and that's what he wants from his team.
And he's got the dudes up front to do it with the size he has. He outweighs the Cougar defensive line by almost 40 pounds.
They'll get the play from the sidelines. To Woods again. Direct snap has a hole. Brendan Woods to the outside. Down to the 14-yard line. We do a late flag. Down at the 25. We'll take a look at this again.
This here. You got down, kick out with the fullback with that direct snap, and Brendan does just a nice job. I'm sure Coach Baranski will say, Brendan, just run. Don't look back. Just run.
We have an injured Cougar on the sidelines. Looks like cramping. Let's get the call from Earl Harris on the flag. It looks like it may be coming back a little bit.
Block in the back. Offense. Repeat. Third down.
So a block in the back. That's Matt Fisher who's down.
That's big for Hazleton. He's up, so that's a good sign.
Okay, you don't repeat third down after the run. It's a first down at the 35.
Correct.
Penalty was against Spartans.
Spartans inside Cougar territory after the nice run from Brendan Woods on the direct snap.
It's good to see Matt walking off like that. He's good. I think he just, like you said, Bob, I think he had a cramp. He's got to come out for a play. Maybe they'll spell him on special teams, get someone in sub for him.
So a couple different formations seen from the Spartans, right? Getting the ball right to Woods.
Well, again, last week they did a lot of unbalanced, trying to just overlap, get their bigger guys out there.
Nastansky hands it to McDaniels, gets the corner, and out of bounds, about 8 yards.
On the carry.
Make it 9.
You'll see McDaniels here, yep. Hand off, there it is, down Number 34 hasn't been getting a lot of play time, I should say air time. He's done a nice job out there sealing that edge, getting that defensive end, influence him in. That's John Stolka, 6'1", 190-pound senior at the tight end spot.
We talked last week with Coach Kaharski. There's a 40-second clock now. I think it's taking some adjustments at some schools to get used to it. McDaniel sheds a couple tackles. Finally ripped down by Barrett, but they're inside the Allied Services red zone.
On the carry.
The 40-second implementation this year is kind of interesting, but the kids now, they've been practicing that. Once that was put in by PIAA, every coach at every practice, boom, 40-second, 40-second. I know we used to do the 2-minute drill, and I would be the one controlling the clock, and it would drive the kids crazy because I would really make that hurry-up offense go. But 40 seconds, that's very easy for the kids to adjust to.
Some movement up front. Earl Harris throws his flag.
I think that would have been thrown on number 4, Jeremiah Williams, because he came in motion and kind of creeped up.
Exactly what it is. So that will take the Spartans outside the red zone.
Spartan penalty.
Just inside, I should say, that a 19.
I didn't hear any update on Dante Rhodes, Bob. Have you heard anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
Maybe Paul can talk to someone. Paul has an update on Dante Rhodes.
There's that offset power formation. You know where the ball's going.
Woods. Oh. Down to the 9.
Number 42,
another
Brandon
cramp.
Woods on the carry.
That formation right here that you're seeing, they end up putting 2 tight ends and a fullback in the backfield. So they end up saying, we're running this way, stop us.
Let's go down to Paul now, maybe with an update on Dante Rhodes. Paul?
Okay, Bob, Valley West driving here with Woods at quarterback. Also, they've had Nastansky. Dante Rhodes is out for the game.
Number 42, Brandon Woods on the touchdown.
There you see the touchdown from Brendan Woods.
Okay, just to finish that. Okay, Bob, just to finish that, Rhodes is out for the game. It's a right hip flexor injury. And I talked to him, and he said actually in the spring he injured his left hip flexor. So he's familiar with the injury, just on a different part of the body. He's going to get checked out later on. But, yeah, he's out of the game for the night.
Too bad for him. But his team does score. More cramping going on. We have a Cougar down at the 5-yard line after the touchdown. So we're waiting the extra point. But you saw Spartans methodically take the ball down the field and get it to Woods for an easy touchdown. Nothing fancy on that drive.
No, they like I said, they have the 2 fullbacks back there just pounding it up inside, and you give it to your money guy. That big defensive or offensive tackle, number 73, they brought him over from the left side. That's that unbalanced look they were looking at.
That's a 65-yard drive. Extends the Spartan lead.
What Coach Baranski does is he brings number 73, the left guard, who just happens to be 6'1", 314 pounds, and just does that overlap, and then he loads it up even more with the 2 fullback types that he has back there.
9-play drive. Here's what's coming on tap for Wyoming Valley West, trying to improve to 2-0. They'll go to Crestwood
with the first-year head coach Ryan Arcangeli.
Yep, then they go on the road down to a rival, Berwick.
Another first-year head coach.
Yep.
With plenty of experience.
And then they have Dallas. So Not an easy schedule for the Spartans early on.
No, it's not, especially at Crestwood with the way they run that single wing. And I know Coach Ryan told me that they're going to be starting to do some more traditional offensive formations, play smash mouth football, a lot of power. Berwick, I was surprised they brought the option back last week against Abington. So that makes you now defend, take practice time, and work on that.
Yeah, then you saw later in the year, they have Wilkes-Barre and Delaware Valley. Abington playing really good tonight against
really
Valley
well.
View.
Abington last year took their lumps, and it's already starting to come around for them. Last week against Berwick, they did what Hazleton did tonight. They had turnovers. They kept stopping themselves.
There you saw Seth Hunsinger go off the field.
Now he's jogging, so that's a real good sign for the Cougars.
Nastansky, the holder. Gillespie for another PAT. A little left, but it goes through the uprights. After the drive, Valley West extends their lead now 21-7 over Hazleton area.
Wyoming Valley West Spartans.
Fox College football makes its return tomorrow. The Florida Atlantic Owls take on Ohio State at noon, followed by Northwestern and Stanford. Saturday, college football on Fox 56.
Football season is upon us. NFL gets started next week. High school football already into week number 2. We had some college games, over last weekend, and now this weekend. Penn State opens tomorrow. So we are into fall, even though it feels like summer.
And that's all right. It's a great time to be a football fan. It's wonderful.
It is. So we'll do this again after the penalty for offsides. It will be the Keystone College kickoff from Tyler Gillespie. So the opening drive taken down and taken in by the Spartans.
And they almost took 4 minutes off the clock with that drive, which is going to be what Coach Baranski also said he would like to do, is ball control.
Casadis from his 15. Finds a gap. Nice return. He's done a nice job on special teams. Casadis inside Spartan territory.
Boy, Matt Casadis is a freshman, Bob. 5'11", 155 pounds, and I'll tell you what, he's just getting better back there.
And he's getting confidence.
And again, for the fans that look at that, he was coached, and that's how we always coach our returners. We always used to put a towel under their armpit so they'd have to squeeze the elbow so that the ball won't come out. That's a really nice job, and he has good vision.
So we have stats from Hazleton in that first half as well?
Yes, Hazleton was 19 rushes for 52 yards, and they passed for 28.
Kelvin Molesky, the big fullback, rumbles ahead for 5 yards. Now let's see what Coach Brennan wants, if he wants to keep the running game. Oh, Molesky comes up limping a little. He's cramping as well. It's hot and humid.
It is humid down there. And again, you also have the AstroTurf, which adds at least another 10 degrees. I'm surprised that the officials haven't stopped to give a water break for the kids either.
They did talk about that, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
Wyoming Valley West Gridiron Club would like to thank its annual sponsors. Keeley's Ale House and Grill in Kingston. Tammy's Kitchen, Larksville. Kelly Mead.
Doesn't get any easier for the Cougars. Next week, they finally get a home game in against Dallas. The team favorite in 4A, team winning tonight. And their schedule is competitive as well.
Well, and then they're at Williamsport, and I'm not sure what is going on at Williamsport. I didn't see Coach Cruz at the media day. Wilkes-Barre area, again, they're new. They're trying everything. Del Val's tough. Berwick, Scranton, we saw. They're going to have a great game against them. Wallenpaupack, and then they end at Crestwood.
Dallas shutting out Crestwood tonight, 42-0.
Wow.
Western Wayne stunning North Pocono, 21-3. a North Pocono team that put up 42 points last week against West.
Well,
Western Wayne might go to 2-0.
Western Wayne, years ago, they used to have some really, really big kids. And I think, Bob, you said, you and Stan were talking, that they have not a very large team, but they do have some very big kids playing for them. And sometimes you can't coach that size.
Not at all. So back to the field, second down. Little give to Johnson. He burrows ahead. 2 yards short of a first down.
Hazleton came out in that balance set again, just running the RPO, the run pass option.
Tackle by number 7-3, Brandon Dorado.
The other stunning score from District 2 is up in the Lackawanna League. Mid-Valley beating Dunmore in the third quarter, 22-17.
Coach Rebar's been up there for quite a few years, and I know, I'd be happy for him, but, he works his tail off.
Molesky in after the cramps. He was looking for contact. I think if he went to the right, he might score, but he's down to the 10.
Bob, you're absolutely right on that. That was a huge hole inside there.
Carried by number 42, Kevin Molesky, down to the 10-yard line for the
A 32-yard gain, and big number 42.
Here we go on this. It's just an ISO play. Comes in, bounces it off tackle, and he's off to the races. The Hazleton Cougars right now, their underclassmen are really making a statement.
And remember, he just went off with cramps a few minutes ago. He gets the ball back. He's into the 8, and the Cougars knocking on the door inside the Allied Services red zone one more time.
tackle by number 58, Noah Anderskavage.
You can see Molesky's eyes just light up. Like, I'm gonna hit number 2.
I'm not worried about scoring. I'm gonna knock it down.
That's what it was. It was funny. I thought he might go to the right.
Well, I think that's the Jim Brown mentality. I'm gonna make you pay for this.
That's okay. Long as they score. Second down. Quick to Johnson, touchdown, Hazleton.
To Lance Johnson.
An 8-yard play, and Hazleton's back in this game.
Hazleton touchdown.
You want to talk about a confidence
Lance
booster
Johnson.
for Kellen Warner. There you go. And coach told him, forget about the first half, learn from your mistakes, and boy, did he ever. Quick read, quick dump off. Lance tucks it away. If you notice, it's in his right arm, so it's away from the defender. And again, he dipped his shoulder. He says, I'm going to hit you.
Extra point.
Both teams playing physical. Both teams have scored in the third quarter.
That was tremendous for the Hazleton Cougars to answer the touchdown with their own touchdown to keep this game close.
Hazleton timeout.
Coach Brennan calls timeout on special team. Oh, no, we have somebody's down, so I don't know if it's a timeout or an injury timeout. We'll see. It's Fisher again. He came out with cramps before, so we're seeing a lot of cramping going on, and this third quarter is really slowly ticking down.
Your Spartans will
Okay, time now to do look at 6A, I believe, in the District 2 4 sub-regional after week number 1. Williamsport was 1-0. They're playing Altoona tonight, and then you have a bunch of teams at 0-1. Of course, 4 teams will compete in the sub-regional. And Wilkes-Barre winning over Scranton. Of course, Hazleton right here. Del Val winning as well. So that should be an interesting year for 6A.
At least now they have another team.
Yeah.
And it was tough for them to actually advance in the 6A category because there's not that many teams in our region up here in Northeast PA. So it's going to be a shootout.
And Delaware Valley, a favorite up in the Lackawanna League, I think lost to Parkland last week. But they have a lot of returners, and there's Coach Baranski. He's shaking his head. And I know you told him before the game, just have fun. Well, I guess, do you think he's having fun?
No,
he lost his starting quarterback.
No.
He's leading by 8 right now. Could be 7. Is this fun?
No.
Is this what you guys call fun? Because I
Well,
don't know.
I still have my tack hammer ready to go if I decide to ever go back to this. No, I told Coach he's got to enjoy the wins when they come. You got to let the losses not gnaw at you as much because you got great kids, you got a great program, and just keep going. It makes it difficult.
Yeah. Well,
and he knows knows this game before it started, it was going to be close.
Russo in for the key extra point. It is good. Hazleton, 3 plays, 49 yards. They make a nice statement coming back after Valley West took their drive down, and right now it's 21-14. Well, earlier today, one of our sponsors stopped by, Matt Daly from State Farm, and Paul talked to him.
Friday Night Rivals is happy to be joined this season by your local State Farm agent, and here is Matt Daly, located in Kingston, but serving Luzerne and Lackawanna County, and we're coming up on an important time for you. State Farm, you always think of auto insurance, but you also do life insurance, and September is National Life Insurance Awareness Month.
Yes, it is, and honestly, our office is geared up to start having people come in and have us give a good, concise message about life insurance, help them understand all the different types of life insurance, and help them make a decision, truthfully.
Yes, State Farm is the largest life insurer in the country, so you know they have every way to meet your needs. But State Farm is not just life insurance. Like I said, it's auto, it's a lot of things. It is all encompassing, and it's an important thing to be a one-stop shop location where you can get all of your insurance needs met. And when you meet with someone, you won't just talk life insurance, you'll talk many things.
Absolutely. At Matt Daly State Farm, we like to insure all aspects of your life. We want to give a complete package, a bundle, which gives you savings on all your insurances together. There's discounts to be had. We work really well with families and new drivers, obviously home, auto, renters, business insurance, you name it, we have it. But we're going to look at you as an individual. So we're going to personalize what we put together for you and then present you with that as a package and allow you to make the decision on what you want to do.
That's such a nice thing and a nice way to do it. And you can find out more by going to www.mattdalyinsurance. But State Farm, more than anything, offers the personal touch. You're not online searching, you're not on the phone getting quotes, you're not on hold, you're talking to a person, and that's the way State Farm wants to do business.
That's absolutely true. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Somebody's going to answer the phone for you. I have a team of 3 people and myself at my office here in Kingston, and so somebody will be able to take care of your needs, you know, when you call in.
All right, thank you so much, Matt, for joining us all season on Friday Night Rivals. The State Farm insurance agent for Luzerne, Lackawanna County. Check him out at www.mattdalyinsurance.com. And thank you, Matt, from State Farm Insurance. And now back to more football.
So State Farm agent Matt Daly from earlier today. Nastansky down, and Casadas there to flick it away.
And he got
Nastansky's pass to number 2.
Nastansky just had a lot of pressure right up in his face, and he got rid of that ball in the nick of time. You'll see the pressure coming up from the inside. Wow, that was a great breakup. Last minute getting that hand in there.
So 3rd and long now on the way for the Spartans. Usually a passing situation, but
3rd down has been the Cougars' Achilles heel right now.
You're right,
throughout
though.
this game.
You're absolutely correct.
But the first 2 downs, again, it's 3rd and 11, so they dropped them. They're really doing a good job crowding that line of scrimmage and taking it down. And I spoke too soon. There's probably too much.
This will back them up 5.
On the offense, repeat, second.
Yeah, it looked like the left guard moved. Number 55, maybe the center, Mooney, did something because he's holding his head.
He may have rocked.
Yep.
I used to teach my defensive linemen when I was at Kings and Wilkes to get credit card alignment where we are crowding that the line of scrimmage. And that's what I really thought they were going to call it on Hazleton.
Cougars now with an opportunity. Another more movement from Valley West on the left side.
Like
dead ball, we got a false start. Offense. Repeat, 3rd down.
Now it's Valley West making the mistakes.
Well, the mental aspect of the game. I think that was Mr. Gardner may have just leaned a little bit too much, anticipating that snap count.
Loss of 10 yards on 2
3rd and 21.
yellow flags. This really becomes on the side of the Cougars, Hazleton area, with a great opportunity here. Stansky in the shotgun.
Drop that safety.
They're going to do a little screen, and it goes short. He didn't even get it to him.
Great pressure up the inside.
So the punt team on for Wyoming Valley West.
Pass intended for red guard.
That last, here it comes. Look at number 30 coming in, untouched for Hazleton. That would be Johnny DeBellis just coming in. Another senior, making an impact tonight. Now that was tremendous series for them to go 3 and out after they scored.
Mattias and Casadis back. Great job by the special teams tonight. High snap.
And
Garner gets it off. Well, takes a huge Valley West bounce. But Hazleton will have decent field position at the 37-yard line, trailing by 7, 5:11 left in the third quarter.
Hazleton first down.
So after both teams scored on their opening drives of this quarter, Coach, defense playing a role now for the Cougars. Let's see now if it translates to the offensive side.
And again, the confidence level now that Kellen Warner will have after that last series, we're gonna see what's gonna happen right now with it, obviously, but he's got to be jacked up and ready to go. And Coach Brennan said the kid's a competitor.
They put the first week behind them.
And Kellen's already like, Coach, our formation, are you sure we're missing somebody? So that's a smart, heady move that he understands the entire offense.
Still a lot of time on the clock. Big Mollusky threw for a couple. They've gone to the heavy set pretty much of the third quarter, right?
Yes. And on that play, they just ran that ISO where the fullback's leading for the tail, trying to isolate one of the Valley West Spartans. Coming out in that balance set, which might tell me it's an RPO.
Warner keeps it. Makes a nice move. Kellen Warner out of bounds inside Spartan territory down to the 42-yard line.
And he was really smart on that play, Bob. He didn't take a hit. He got the first, got the extra yards, and went out of bounds.
17-yard play.
And you'll see there was that RPO. And again, he was directing his slot receiver block down because he was keeping it.
Nice job by Fisher blocking outside.
Yep.
Hazleton looks like a different team than they did a week ago. We talked about the week 1 to week 2 adjustments. Mollusky powering his way for yards.
He just put his head down and said, I'm going, baby.
42 Mollusky on the
Power football on both sides of the ball, and both teams want to run it.
Just that ISO and tremendous block right there by number 25 for the Hazleton Cougars, blowing that up.
Jose Rodriguez,
I'll tell you
what.
what.
I'm sorry. Dante Mattarella, my bad, number 25, the junior.
Wow, I'll tell you what, he's doing a tremendous job with that lead block on the isolation play.
Little mix-up. Mollusky loses yards on that play, but holds on to the ball.
Well, they did that last week against Pottsville. We called that a scissor play where you fake the fullback, tailback. So you got both running backs going, one left, one right.
Stocklaw on the stop with another cramp, and is this Mollusky again? This third quarter has taken a long time due to the injuries and all the cramping going on
tonight.
I mean, if we didn't have the stoppages, it moved pretty quick. It's been a good game.
It's been a great game, and as history dictated, the last 2 years it's been very close, and this game is going to be right there also.
He comes off, and here's what we have upcoming. Of course, Coach and I will be back in his stomping grounds, Pittston area and Tunkhannock, another Wyoming Valley Conference game. And then we'll head out for a couple weeks in the Heartland Conference, Hughesville and Central Columbia, and then the Battle of the Bridge, Montoursville, Loyalsock, and then a great one will all be on hand for Berwick and Valley View. Pump fake to Casadis, and in and out of the hands of the freshman, but a nice throw from Warner.
There was a little jabbering going on there by number 2, and number 13, with the inexperience, put his hand on his helmet. It's going to unfortunately cost Hazleton.
Garner.
We've been talking a lot about Casadis, especially on special teams. Here's the call.
We have a dead ball. Unsportsmanlike white. Dead ball. We have unsportsmanlike red. Offsetting. Dead ball fouls. We're on number 1.
So third down coming up.
And you'll see this. He drops back. He has nice protection. Sets his feet. Throws the ball a little up. He's got to follow through. But you'll see this at the end. His ear saying, no, not in my house. You're not doing that. And then there was just Casadis ended up just saying, get out of my face. And
I don't think a coach minds that ball because it's one-on-one and make your
Jump
guy
ball.
can go up and get the play, right?
They're athletes, especially these skill positions out here as the wide receiver.
So the dead ball foul could still make it third down, but it's 3rd and 13.
And we have to remember, Matt Casadis is a freshman.
Just a freshman, right.
So, and Coach Brennan was really high on his skill kids. They said they have a lot of talent, but they're just young. Swing pass.
Warner to Johnson, makes a move. Johnson picks up a first down and more inside the Allied Services red zone for the Cougars of Hazleton. They need a 13, he got 16.
33, Lance Johnson.
The Cougars are looking, they got a little pep in their step right now. They got the Spartans back on their heels. A swing pass, this is right from the
Ball
get start.
on the 17-yard line.
Now, if you look at Warner's throwing style from the first half to second half, his confidence is there now. He understands it, and he's doing a much better job with the reads and the ball throw.
So missed tackles from the Spartans. Cougars keep the drive going. It started at their own 38. Molesky, nice hole. Molesky powers his way in for a Hazleton area touchdown of 17 yards.
Number 42.
And after the extra point, we may be tied. What more can you say about Kevin Molesky, the 215-pound junior?
Junior. And again, a freshman out there, wide out. A junior playing quarterback. Tremendous job, great running, the offensive line.
Molesky had 4 carries on that drive for most of the yards. The extra point, good hold, and it's no good. Bad
Russo's extra
snap.
point is no good.
Fisher got it down, but
Spartans
Russo misses
21,
it.
Hazleton 20.
And Hazleton, after the touchdown, trails by 1, 21-20, 2:59 remaining in the third quarter.
Wyoming Valley West Gridiron Club would like to thank the following
Right now,
sponsors.
Coach Brennan's going to be feeling really good.
Polish
Here we go.
Connection, Main Street, Plymouth.
There's that block right
Dr.
there. The
Allen
key to
Woods
that
Family Dentistry,
was right there,
Kingston.
number 56.
Kelly Mead with Cigar Agency in Plains, Tammy's Kitchen of Larksville, and Keeley's Ale
Christopher
House
Sachs,
and
who's a
Grill
sophomore, did a
in
tremendous
Kingston.
job on that trap play right there. That freed that for Molesky to run then to that touchdown.
Well, you talked about in our pregame, week 1 to week 2. This is where you see the depth the second teamers have stepped up. There's a lot of second teamers playing for the Cougars now.
They are, because they don't have a choice. And it's that we always talk about the next man up mentality and how these kids have to produce, and they did. Tremendous job for the Cougars right now.
There's a sophomore, makes a key block, gets the touchdown. Hazleton
Congratulations and
goes
good luck to
62
Kayla.
yards down the field. 7 plays.
And they've used up 4 minutes, Bob, on both the scoring. A little bit over 4 minutes on these two drives.
Williams and Garner back deep for the Spartans.
And this is a team that gained 74 total yards last week against Pottsville.
And they had 80 in the first half. So, and this second half, they're doing a tremendous job. The Valley West Spartans right now, I can't see a number. Somebody's down with another cramp on the sideline, though.
Official timeout because of that, what you just mentioned.
30,
He's close enough to the field, 34, I think. Stockla?
Stockla.
Yep, Stockla cramping up. Dante Rolls, their starting quarterback, went out with what we hear is a hip flexor in the first half.
Which very painful.
Yeah, and he looked like he was in pain. So the junior quarterback, they lost him in the second quarter. Really changed things.
Now, right now, they're going to be going to a freshman tight end.
Onside kick, and Hazleton has it. On the Keystone College kickoff, I saw them practicing this. Russo does it, and he
by Hazleton.
recovers the onside kick.
A great call because you got the momentum coming at you, baby.
I saw them practicing that on what was I down there? Tuesday. They couldn't have done it more perfect. Matt Fisher, right there.
Right there.
We talked about our Toyota Spotlight player, Matt Fisher, and he's come out big today.
And boy, he did a tremendous job kicking the top of the ball, so it didn't go far. It bounced enough to 10 yards, and they got it.
Folks, we are still in the third quarter. There's a lot of football to be played. So Warner back in. Back to their big tailback, maybe a yard. And now the confidence level for the Cougars is skyrocketing.
They're ready. They just want to go, baby. You can just see it. They want to go and go and go.
A young team.
Bob, you mentioned earlier at the beginning of the third quarter about how Valley West, what their body language is saying. Right now, they're on their heels. I don't see that swagger that they had at the beginning of the game.
Nice in pass to Fisher. Nice job by Warner to thread the needle for a gain of 8.
Well, here we go with that confidence. And again, we talked about Matt Fisher going from quarterback back to what he does best. And Bob, you've mentioned it all throughout this game, how well that has been implemented with Matt Fisher back at the receiver position.
How have you seen Warner change from the first half to the second half?
I personally, it was when he ended up throwing that swing pass for that touchdown. His confidence, now he understands the offense. He's really feeling, as Coach Garsh would say, I don't have to win it. I'm not going to lose this game.
Defense. First down.
And as we talk about the quarterback, he hard counts and he gets Valley West to go off sides.
That was great discipline. That's really tough to do with a veteran team, let alone having so many freshmen, sophomore, juniors all over your offense.
So it gives the Cougars 4 more downs. Trips to the left, make it 4 out to the right-hand side. The RPO taken by Johnson, that will look like a disaster maybe happening, but instead it's about a half-a-yard gain.
Kellen Warner, that was a high snap, and he jumped up, and he was able to wrangle that in and still get the ball off. That kind of negates the RPO when you don't have this. Yep, one-handed he grabbed that, and he still got the ball off.
Old big Jameer Murphy was barreling in from his defensive end position.
6'1", 270 pounds. He's got to probably have a lot of the local schools looking at him.
Pump fake. Down to Fisher, and good job on the coverage by Jeremiah Williams on the outside. Fisher cramping up now. He was out before as well.
Jeremiah Williams.
And Kellen Warner with the pump fake on that. Bob, you said about the confidence level. Watch this. Pump fake. turns his shoulders. He actually had a receiver on the inside slot receiver open on the left-hand side. And again, that's going to be tough as a first-year quarterback trying to go through your progression of reads. We have Matt Fisher out there. That would be your go-to guy.
Yeah, Fisher, though, I think is on the sidelines. Another cramp. Warner back. Coming, swing it to the next side. Other side, Johnson. Johnson makes a cut. Johnson inside the Allied Services red zone to the 16-yard line. Gain of 15.
Pass complete to number 33, Lance.
Another little swing pass, but he's got a lead blocker with that tackle coming out. Justin Beaver, 6'2", 255-pound junior.
Taken down by Nastansky. And that will do it for the third quarter. It was a long one because of a lot of cramps and some injuries. But we have 3 in the books here at Spartan Stadium, and we have ourselves a game in the Wyoming Valley Conference.
Tuition assistance while getting paid as a CNA. Allied Services has excellent career opportunities for RNs, LPNs, and CNAs. Visit allied-services.org/careers today.
It's been a long night here at Spartan Stadium in Kingston, Luzerne County, but we have ourselves a battle between 2 big schools in the Wyoming Valley Conference. It's 21-20. The Valley West leading Hazleton. Bob Ide, Jan Cechak, Paul Grippy. Glad he could join us for week number 2 of Friday Night Rivals. So Hazleton has the ball after an onside kick. Just about the 15-yard line. They're in the Allied Services red zone. And they want to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Spartans return home September 20th against the Dallas Mountaineers.
Coach, a lot to analyze in that third quarter. Both teams came out, took their drives down, and then Cougars got within 1. Onside kick, what did you like in that third quarter?
I like the run game.
Yeah.
These guys, they were just playing smash-mouth football both ways. I really was concerned that the way Valley West came out and they had a 4.5-minute drive and they scored, I was like, this isn't good for the Cougars, but they were very resilient, came back, and they scored. So I think, and I keep saying it, the last 2 years, history has dictated this is going to be a tight game.
It was 21-20 last year, Valley West down there. The year before, Hazleton won here, 17-50. So it's been, you mentioned, a 3-point game over the last 2 years. Second down. Back to Molesky. Good stop. Brendan Woods on the bottom of that pile.
The defensive line, Brandon Torado and Noah Anderskavich on here. They're just stopping the offensive lineman to allow the linebacker, Brendan Woods, to make that tackle.
Ball on the 8-yard line. Third down, 3 to go.
I think in Coach Brennan right now, I'm sure he's probably thinking 2-down territory as opposed to going for the field goal.
So another play inside the Allied Services red zone. Make it 3rd down and 3. It's like an RPO to Johnson. He leans forward. I think he's going to be just short of the line to gain.
33 Johnson on the carry.
One of the keys to running the RPO, Bob, is to make sure your quarterback follows through, not just hand the ball off, because now you're just helping the defense. And you want to keep them honest, so if he continued his fake out, that one linebacker couldn't scream up like he did.
Field goal takes the lead. Or do you go for a touchdown?
He's going for it. He wants to try to get that first so he has another shot at the touchdown.
You would
and
think
then he'll think about field goal.
Even if you don't make it, you still pin Valley West deep.
They have a long way to go.
4th down, big Molesky to the 5. It's going to be close, right on the line if they place it. First down. Why not? Kevin Molesky has been the workhorse in the second half for the Cougars. Here it is.
Right there. You just see the offensive line blow. Look at number 50. Look at number 53. They've decided Richie Santos and James Bugda, they just pushed right through, and that gave them enough room for the first down.
Coach Brennan challenged his offensive line in practice, worked them hard when I was there, and boy, they have come up big tonight, haven't they? I mean,
They really have.
a lot of credit.
They have one senior on that offensive line.
And they're not the biggest group.
No. The biggest guy they have is Jason Beaver at 255.
Yeah. Richie Santos, number 50, told me he was embarrassed last week against Pottsville. So you know these guys up front were going to be challenged tonight, and they have come through, no matter what happens. Into Molesky again. That ball come out? Nope, he still has it, and he gets down to about the 3.
At the Wyoming Valley Conference Media Day, I spoke to Richie Santos and James Bugda about losing a 4-year quarterback and losing Adrian Otero as a running back. And they were so cool, calm, and collected, Bob. They said, Coach, with all due respect, it doesn't matter who's behind us. We have to do our job and block. And that's a great attitude, and they have a great understanding. So they're not worried about it. And you can see we have a great game going tonight.
2nd and goal. Behind the offensive line, Molesky to about the 1. This is big time Wyoming Valley Conference power football.
ISO right, ISO left, ISO right, ISO left.
Nothing fancy.
No.
Give it to the big back and let your offensive line maybe do the work. Now the challenge is on the Valley West line. They have guys with hands on their hip up front. A long, hot, humid night for both sides. Cougars looking to take the lead for the first time this season. To Molesky, nice job by Brendan Woods shooting in there. He stopped him short. Why not? 242s meeting each other.
Woods on the stop. Fourth and 1.
Thirteenth play of the drive after the onside kick. And there's really nothing fancy in this, just a nice little pass in there for 15 yards to Lance Johnson, but most of it's been Molesky right up the middle.
Pounding the ball.
And then they're going to call timeout, get some water. 4th and 1.
Timeout.
Well, Coach Brennan now with either power it in or kick a field goal. 7:48 remaining in the game. Woo! If you just went off of last week, you would say Valley West maybe is a 20-point favorite. But again, you mentioned it. When these two teams get together, the game's going to be close.
And it's such a great rivalry game. This is what Friday night football, high school football is about. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. You would kind of like to think, okay, yeah, we have this advantage. Our offensive linemen, the defensive linemen are bigger, but this is tremendous. And I got to give props to number 25 for Hazleton. I'm trying to see. I can't see because I'm getting old. Dante Mattarella. He's a junior, 5'9". He's 165 pounds, and he's been doing the majority of the lead blocking for those guys up for Molesky tonight. He's done a tremendous job with it.
4th and 1 for the Cougars to take the lead. Coach Brennan is going to trust his offensive line. When you try to get Warner to the outside, I mean, there's a lot you have to think about if you're the Wyoming Valley West defense.
Well, I don't think he wants to call another timeout. I don't know if he's going to. I don't think he's going to try to hard count them to jump them off sides.
Here we go. To Molesky, left side. In for the Hazleton area touchdown.
42, Molesky in for the Cougars score.
Wow. On the 14th play of the drive after the onside kick, Hazleton takes the first lead not only of the evening, but of the entire season.
Offensive line just gets great surge where they had to get it. Number 77, Donald Messersmith for Wyoming Valley West blew up the left side, and unfortunately for him, they were running, Molesky ran to the right side. There's a Valley West player down.
Yes, there is. We do have a Valley West player. Looks like more cramping. Number 7. Olszewski, Connor, the sophomore. Or it is hot and humid.
Well, we know they're going to be going for the 2-point conversion.
You are correct. Want to take that 7-point lead, but boy, you can't say much more about Hazleton area than the resilience of this team after losing really big to Pottsville last week, just gaining 70-some yards of offense and just putting their heads down last week. They have responded in Cougar fashion and what Mike Brennan wants, the way Mike Brennan coaches. Now on the other side, Coach Baranski, now he's going to be challenged in his home opener.
He's got to. And the kids right now, the Valley West sideline, they've got to pick it up. They're looking for that spark. And again, the charisma of their quarterback that's not able to play right now because of a hip pointer. Somebody's got to step up, and they got to start taking over that ownership to do that.
Number 7 bounces back up with a water bottle in his hand. Hazleton area takes the 5-point lead. They trailed 21-7 at one point. Take that back. They trailed 21-14.
The press box feels a little bit cooler up here now, doesn't it?
Does it? So, 2-point conversion on the way. Warner hits Molesky just inside the end zone for the 2-point conversion in Hazleton area. Comes back with 14 unanswered. They take a 7-point lead. 7:44 left in the fourth.
At Quad A Driving Academy, our students do not have to go to the DMV to take their test. They test with us. Less stress means higher pass rate. We're the only full-service driving training school able to serve Luzerne, Lackawanna, and nearby counties. Check us out at quadadrive.com.
Back in Kingston after Hazleton area comes back with an onside kick, takes it down for the leading touchdown. They lead 28-21. Russo teeing it up for the Keystone College kickoff. The Spartan fans a little in shock on this side.
It's very quiet.
It's very quiet.
The Cougars took off 4 minutes and 16 seconds of the fourth quarter.
Deep kick. Red guard from his
nice head of steam.
Head of steam. He is off to the races. And he will go in for a Wyoming Valley West touchdown, Jeremiah Williams. That's one way of getting it back.
That's one way to get the crowd going, get your team moving.
A huge hole in the middle of the field, and he was gone.
He just has great vision, and more importantly, he has that burst, that speed. Once he was gone through that hole, he was gone.
92 yards for Jeremiah Williams, the junior. Has the Spartans faithful now on their feet. Gillespie in for the extra point. And it is through. Woo! What a game here in Kingston. We are tied at 28 with 7:31 left in this game. We've seen a little bit of everything tonight, haven't we?
Onside kicks. We've seen, 3 turnovers in the first half, 1 for a touchdown. We saw a injury touchdown.
I mean, Coach Baranski takes his hat off. What's going on? We've seen a lot of cramping. Here, let's look at it again. Yep, just
right
his
there.
foot was about it, so it's 96 yards.
96,
maybe.
He's right there. There's that burst, and he was off to the races. Great speed, great vision. More importantly, they had good blocking. they allowed the Hazleton Cougars to peel to the outside. He went right up inside.
No fear on special teams.
No. We talk on special teams, especially when you're on a kickoff team. You want to cast a net where you're throwing it out there, but then you want to rein it back in. And the Cougars didn't do that time.
And they saw the speed from Williams. So now we are tied at 21, brand new game late here in the fourth quarter. Which team will respond? Gillespie teeing up the Keystone College kickoff.
I don't think he's going to onside kick like we saw earlier, right? From the Cougars. Who knows?
I don't know. If you're Hazleton, you're not going to let them. You know, he'll kick it deep. And Casadis now from his 7. The freshman, a little shifty up to the 33. So that's where Hazleton comes back out, and we have ourselves a new game.
Casadis on the return.
Well, we have smiles now on this side for our Casey Dental Smile Camp. We turn a frown upside down because we got smiles now.
Yes, we do. And the noise is back.
Number 28, Sadiq Ransomberg on the tackle.
Oh,
and that woke up
Jameer Murphy. Wow.
Number 99.
A one-man wrecking machine on that. He took on the block and just threw him down with one arm.
It's funny how we've seen it with both sides. We look at this again, both sides. One play can make a huge difference.
High school football.
Right?
That much momentum can go that quickly, that swing. Boy, Jameer, I have to give Jameer, that was great technique. He took on the blocker, brushed him aside, and then made the tackle for a loss.
Warner rolling. Got it to Fisher, maybe a little late, but Fisher with a positive gain, and Garner's going to get flagged again. Let's see here, Garner.
If that's his second, he's ejected. I don't know if the offsetting. I'm not sure of the ruling. If it's offsetting, then he should. If it counts against him, if that's who they recorded it as.
Garner will go off the field.
We had a dead ball. We got a personal foul. Defense.
So that will give Hazleton a first down inside Spartan territory. Here's the pass again.
He's rolling to his left. It's right there. Oh, okay.
High hit, but I think it's what it's after because the flag comes in late.
It did. Now, if indeed Najir was called for their second personal foul in this game, he will be out this game and the next. So that would be really detrimental to the Valley West Spartans.
Woods can't get Warner. He loses the ball and into Spartans' hands. Stockla recovers the fumble.
Jonathan Stockla.
Bob, you talked about the momentum, and Valley West defense came out with a chip on their shoulder, flying around, making things happen.
Another turnover from Hazleton. This one could cost them the game. Here you go, Coach.
He's out. He's rolling. He doesn't see it. And again, he tucks it up, but right there, he tried to move the ball over, and he lost control.
McDaniels might have got a hand on it.
And they're pulled away at it.
Yep. So Valley West has the ball now at their own 46.
There's pressure on the replay from Brendan Short.
Woods in the Wildcat. They're not going to do anything fancy, but he loses the
ball right into the Hazleton player's hand. Oh, my.
Spartans fumble.
I think is that Seth Hunsinger? Because he got hurt before. It is 58, right into his hands. Look at it again, slow motion.
Here comes Hunsinger.
Yep.
He just lost. Brendan just lost control. I didn't see anybody pulling at his arm.
52 had him. Barrett. It didn't look like he did anything. Maybe the ball's slippery. It's humid.
They're sweating. That's for sure.
Yeah. So fumbles abound here at Spartan Stadium. 6:12 remaining in the game. Momentum going back and forth. So Hazleton has the ball, their own 45.
Molesky with the hard run.
I think we're going to see a lot of Molesky running here late in this one. A lot of guys, hands on their hips. Time to dig deep, Coach.
It is, and that third quarter was long. And it's taxing on their bodies, especially with the humidity right now where they're not getting that much hydration as they need.
In a game like this, Ty, do the referees take a water break at any point, or they just let it play out?
I think they're going to let them play, especially with this game.
Moving up front.
We got a false start. Offense.
This will cost
Repeat,
the Cougars.
Second down.
Penalty on the Cougars.
Second and 11 on the way now. So we have a trophy, I believe, to hand out after this one as well, the Friday Night Rivals weekly trophy. It's still undetermined who's going to win this nice football trophy.
And I heard last week you autographed it, I heard.
I did not. Paul did.
Oh, Paul.
Surprise.
That makes it worth even more, right?
Yeah. You were supposed to autograph this week's game.
They don't want it then.
Johnson shoots through up to midfield.
And he gained 10 yards on that play.
Hazleton is showing great balance, getting the ball to Molesky, to Johnson, Warner running it.
There's Molesky lead blocking now for Lance Johnson. Maybe he's a little bit quicker at that tail spot. He's got to be a little bit fresher. Molesky, like we said earlier, was the workhorse for the third and most of this fourth quarter.
Never disappoints when it's the Spartans and the Cougars. What a great football game. And a big hole for Johnson. Johnson holds on to the ball. He's down to the 26, 34 yards for Lance Johnson.
That's a great play, but the Valley West Spartan defense wasn't set. They were still making adjustments, and the Cougars caught them in that. You'll see that right there. There's that ISO play. There's Molesky taking on two defenders, which freed that up for Johnson to make that great run.
Again, the offensive line doing an awesome job for Hazleton. Yes, we are tied at 28.
4 minutes, less than 4 now.
Johnson through. Stockley with the tackle.
Coach Brennan's pulling out what all coaches do. If it's working, run it until they stop it. And right now, Valley West does not have an answer for that ISO play that the Cougars keep running.
And you know, the one series he ran all Molesky. Now it seems like it's Johnson's turn, right?
1-2 punch.
We've had 2 fumbles in a span of 5 seconds. Hazleton now knocking on the door. What a play. Number 58, Andrew Scavage, the junior, coming in, blowing this one up.
210-pounder. He just had him and did a great job. And look at the gang tackling, number 26 coming in there. Zach McDaniels for the Valley West Spartans to make sure he wasn't going anywhere.
Well, we've already had one upset tonight as Mid-Valley has beaten Dunmore 30-17. I'd say this might be an upset as well.
Congratulations to Coach Rebar up there at Mid-Valley.
Also, Western Wayne easily taking care of North Pocono.
That was a surprise. That is an upset.
Timeout, Hazleton.
Riverside beat Carbondale 28-0. Berwick over Pittston 46-0. Valley View was beating Abington 42-13.
After tonight's game, flip over to Fox 56 and watch Northeast and Central Pennsylvania's #1 10 o'clock news team, Jamie Innes and Ryan Cummings, with Chief Meteorologist Ali Dubecki on the Fox 56 News first at 10.
2:25 left, tied at 28. There you see 3rd down and 10 on the way for Hazleton. The ball's at the 26-yard line.
Coach Brennan, with the offense right now, has been taking it down to 3 seconds on the play clock. So he's doing a real nice job with the clock management, trying to keep the ball, obviously, away from Valley West. Now they got themselves 3rd and 10.
Well, you don't need a turnover. You have 2 downs to get 10. Here we go. They're going to throw a little swing out again, and they get it to Johnson. He picks up about 3. Olszewski reading that one, the sophomore. Sets up 4th down now for Hazleton.
Here's the replay with that swing. Great job, great concentration to get that ball in. Bob, I don't know if you saw as he was catching it, he did. He made that diamond with his index finger and thumb so that the ball couldn't squeeze out.
1 timeout left for Hazleton. 3 for Wyoming Valley West. Time ticking. 4th down and 7.
4th and 7.
Warner to Fisher, over the middle. Matt Fisher is in for a Hazleton area touchdown on a 4th down call.
Pass complete for a touchdown to number 3.
Oh my!
Matt Fisher.
So, Coach, Bob, you said you talked about Matt Fisher earlier. Do you think it was the right move putting him back at the receiver spot?
A lot of credit to Warner, though. He could have taken off and run, but
he had the patience there. And for a first-year quarterback, that's really, really great skill set that he's been taught.
Extra point, and it is through. So after each team fumbled the ball, Hazleton had the ball at their own 45. They methodically took it down for the leading touchdown now. A 7-point advantage. Now Valley West has 90 seconds left, 3 timeouts to tie this one up. What a game.
This
what
has been
a high
great
school
football game.
I mean, it's taken forever, but it is an entertaining game, I got to tell you. Both teams have had their faults, made some mistakes, but both teams have really dug deep.
And you can see what's the internal fortitude that both teams have, that these kids are playing. Watch this play right here. This is a first-year quarterback being really patient. That time he found the receiver and did a great job. He didn't force it in there.
Spartan apparel can be picked up at www.
It's going to be tough to pick our Allied Services players of the game right now at this point. If it was Hazleton, I think
Molesky would be in front runner.
But is it Warner or Fisher or even Johnson? Is it someone from the offensive line? I mean, that's something to think about. Okay, now on the other side, Valley West. New quarterback's been in there. Dylan Dostansky's played well tonight. They've gone to the Wildcat. He's thrown. He can throw. He can throw the ball a little bit,
and he can run.
So
he's that dual threat. So. And Coach Baranski said it at the half that the kid knows the offense and he's had plenty of reps.
Little squib kick. McDaniels hops on the ball. That was dangerous. And Valley West will have it at the 33.
Spartan ball.
Good decision by Hazleton there not to kick it deep because Williams took off
Boy,
the
he
last
took
one,
off, that's
96
right.
yards. The wise play there. So here comes number 9. Back out on the field, trying to lead his team down at least for the game-tying touchdown. Back out to Garner, who makes a nice catch for
Fisher
11
there for the
yards.
stop.
To number 2, Nasir Garner.
He floated it out there, but the experience of Garner pulled it in.
And Matt Fisher on here. Here we go. Nastansky, again, hasn't probably gotten as many reps as he's going to get this week. Again, if he follows through, that ball will be there quicker. And then Garner probably could have made something a little bit more out of that.
32 catches last year for Garner. Here comes the blitz in his face. Throws it down for Garner again, and getting a hand on it. The freshman Casadis knocks it down.
There's another name, Bob, that we could talk about for the Hazleton side.
Broken
Again,
up by number 13,
Dylan
Casadis.
Nastansky having pressure and getting hit as the ball's being released.
Coach Baranski talked about getting the backs out of the out from the backfield, and maybe trying to get that pass. Let's see if they end up now trying to get the ball to Williams. Down the middle to Garner. Fisher there. They're down on the way.
Incomplete to Garner.
56 seconds.
Well, I know Coach Baranski felt that he had the advantage, his receivers against the secondary. Hazleton's young secondary, 2 freshmen and a sophomore, have really grown throughout this game, especially with their confidence in the way that they're playing.
Well, it's one of our better games, and we're only in week number 2. Next week will be Pittston area and Tunkhannock. Pittston area losing tonight to Berwick, and Tunkhannock
is winning. Last I saw, I think it said 38-14.
So that should be a good battle.
And that's grown into a rivalry
Yeah,
game, believe
and
it
it
or
does.
not. Tunkhannock and Pittston.
Well, we have something to complete here first. 56 seconds.
And he still has his 3 timeouts left, so even if they have to turn the ball over, they're going to force them. Here we go, razzle
Throw it
dazzle.
back. Garner hit behind the line, doesn't throw it away. A big play. Number 52 on defense, Max Baird, the junior, comes up big. Hazleton read that play from the beginning.
They were ready for it. Watch this. I mean, they knew there was going to be some kind of trickery. That was the 3rd down play. That's all right. We're good. Here we go.
Oh, Coach Baranski are in there. What are the coaches saying?
They're going to say to him right now, we're going to use our 3 timeouts. We're going to force them into a punt situation. Don't give up any big play. They're going to play conservative. They're going to probably give the ball. Who would you give the ball to, Bob? Molesky, or would you give it to Lance Johnson? So they're probably going to tell each of the linebackers, that's what we want you to do. Mirror them, spy them, shut them down.
Oh, you mean Woods or McDaniels?
I'm sorry.
You're on the other side.
I'm on the other side. Well,
Here's the last play.
Oh, here we go. So we go with the swing pass. They were trying to get it back to the quarterback.
And Bear read it.
And they just read it. Look at that. I mean, the great pressure by number 52 coming in there.
Boga and Barrett.
That's junior Max Barrett.
4th down and 19.
And they're running their.
And they're going to call another timeout. We were joking with Coach Baranski before the game about his 4th and 20 play. Remember?
Yeah, we did. And
it's going to
you
come
can't
down
dial
to that.
it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Again, we've seen a lot. Dante Rhodes, the starting quarterback from Valley West, went down with an injury in the second quarter. That really changed the momentum, really for the game, I think, and really gave confidence to Hazleton because they picked up that ball, ran it in for a touchdown, and it got the game closer. And then they competed with Valley West in that third quarter, back and forth
with scores, and 14 unanswered points.
Yeah, the onside kick.
I think that was a huge momentum swing, right? I mean, they scored, but that was like the nail in the coffin.
So the fourth down call upcoming.
I didn't think they wanted to run their trips into boundary, but
four-man rush from Hazleton. Flag comes in. Kostanski's hits his hit, and they have the ball. That is red guard. He has the first down. He's inside Cougar territory, but what is the flag?
Number 5, Darius Redguard. Flag on the play.
And we have an injured player, too. Hunsinger is back. So a big call upcoming.
No flag?
They waved it off.
Flag has been waved off.
Well, Coach Brennan can't believe it. He's on the field checking his player. I'm sure he's going to say something to the referees. Play stands, and Valley West still in business. 37 seconds left.
I'm trying to figure out. Well, the flag was thrown by the umpire right at the snap of the ball, and he's in the middle of the field, so I'm not sure what he saw.
Spartan first down from the Hazleton 37-yard
Yeah,
line.
we didn't have a replay on that. I don't know what it was. Maybe he thought we don't want to speculate.
We don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Play stands. 37 seconds left. They're on the 37. One timeout left for the Spartans. Oh, guy moving in the backfield. Spartans just making all kinds of mistakes. Again, week 2, new coach, a lot of pressure. Instant decisions being made, right? I mean, as a coach, there's a lot of stuff happening right now.
There's a lot, and then when you throw in that you're tied or you're down by a touchdown, you need to score. There's a lot of factors that go in. That's where you lean on your coaches, your offensive coaches, defensive coaches, to tell you, to give you that kind of input. Maybe they see something that you're not seeing because you're right there on the sideline.
Hazleton declined the penalty to pick up a down.
Penalty on the Spartans has been declined.
Spartans fans looking for something big. Time to throw. Over to Garner. To the 21. Clock will stop to move the chains. 16-yard gain. And he'll spike it. How about Dylan Kostanski? Comes in as a starting wide receiver, and now he's got to lead his team down for a tying touchdown.
This is like storybook ending right here. I don't think Hollywood could have written this story right now.
Casadis with the stop, but boy, they are in business for Valley West. One timeout left. They need a touchdown.
The senior, Kostanski, coming in for the junior quarterback and doing a great job leading the Spartans.
Big rush to the outside. Caught by Garner, knee down. Timeout call, Valley West.
Timeout, Valley West.
Ball at the 12. They're inside the Allied Services red zone. What would a Cougars Spartan game be without a little drama?
And why would we expect anything less? This is tremendous job. These kids, I'll tell you, Valley West has really done a nice job coming back and moving this ball down.
Coach Baranski. After the game,
Coach Brennan now talking about, I believe, the clock not moving.
okay, Earl Harris and his crew from the Wyoming Valley Conference make the call to see if Earl's coming over to the sidelines. Third down on the way for Valley West. 17 ticks on the clock.
I think he's telling them to take it down to 15, I believe. 1-5.
2 seconds coming off. I don't know about these players, but my heart is beating pretty hard.
Well, that's always a good sign, Bob.
Yeah, I'm alive. Okay, what do you do? What are you doing? You need the first down to stop the clock, right? Is that the priority?
I would.
Or do you go to the end zone?
I think they're going to go for the first down, swing pass out to the right. Just get out of bounds. Get that first, get out of bounds.
Skansky trying to float and knocked down by Fisher. Fourth down upcoming. They're trying to get the ball out to red guard, out of the backfield.
They're trying to get that one-on-one isolation right there. And a tremendous pursuit by the defensive lineman, getting the hands up.
And they had him.
They did.
If they had him. Fourth down. And 2 for a first. Fourth down and 13 for a touchdown and a potential tying touchdown. The way the extra points go, nothing. Can't assume anything. Certain. Here we go, fourth down in the game. Kostanski to the middle, caught by Garner at the 9. Clock stops. Got to spike it. 6 seconds left. Here we go. One play for the game, maybe 2, but 1.
You know there's 2 plays called right now.
Yes.
And right now, the other guy we haven't talked about who's probably really nervous right now is the clock keeper.
But give a lot of credit to Valley West. They started this drive inside their own territory and have taken it down with a chance. Here we go.
They got to stop the slant to number 2.
Kostanski looking left. Out to red guard.
Dropped by number 52.
It goes incomplete. Down to 1 second.
Max Barrett did a tremendous job stopping that play right
now they're
going
to say, I think there was 1 because the clock stops on the incompletion, right?
It does. Well, we got to see what Earl Harris says. Well, we have an injury timeout.
Yes, and we have an injured
so you'll see
Valley
this.
West player.
Here's the replay right there. Max Barrett comes up and just does a great job beating number 51 there, and then he comes and makes a stop just to make sure.
1 second, I believe.
Yep.
2 seconds. They're putting 2 on the clock. So this is the game. Ball on the 9.
I don't think they're going to run the Philly special. Maybe we'll run the Valley special.
The Spartan special?
There we go. Good name for it, Bob.
Dylan Kostanski, the senior, called into duty. Rolls to the end zone. Touchdown, Valley West! Nasir Garner. No time left. Wow! What a game!
Here's the replay. Look how cool Nastasi is back here, Kostanski with that. And then a great ball.
Casillas came so close. Here we go, great angle.
He's got good coverage.
Here we go.
Just broke
but
through.
This is it. Extra point. It's up. And he missed it.
Good.
Gillespie missed it to the left, and Hazleton area hangs on for the 35-34 win.
35-34.
This game never disappoints. It's another 1-point game.
congratulations, Coach Brennan. And I know Coach Baranski right now is in shock, and it's that what happened? We moved the ball so well.
Well, Paul Grippy's going to try to get Coach Brennan. Here's the extra point. He just hooked it right from the beginning, and he knew it. Oh. Coach, let's go down the ball with Coach Brennan.
Coach, your Cougars were a different team at the beginning of the game as at the end of the game. What changed in their composure?
We grew up a little bit. I'll tell you that. We have a lot of young kids in the field. We had freshmen and sophomores on the field, and to be back, to come from behind from being down, we had to fight our way back, and these kids fought our way back, and this is sort of a signature, I think, game for us.
And I'll add to that, to come off last week and do this, that you should be pretty proud of that.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of these kids. They're young kids. They're tough. They competed for us all off season. And they were, we had our tails between our legs this week. We fought through it. And we were behind and had our tails between our legs tonight for a point, and we fought through it and found a way to win a game at Valley West against a very good team. I'm happy for them.
All right, thank you very much, Coach, and we'll be back with our Allied Services players of the game.
Wow was right. Well, recap the last couple seconds. What a great job by Nastansky just to drive his team down the field to get the touchdown. And then they just kind of rushed that extra point. And Gillespie, a new kicker, came in. Looks like the hole was good, and he just shanked it to the left. And you feel awful for the kid.
You do. And again, he is a soccer player. And Coach told us before the game that he didn't get much practice time this week because soccer got moved because of the rain delay or the rain earlier in the week, and then they had to reschedule, so they missed him. And he did say that he kicked that 35-yarder, and that's how he ended pre-practice today.
Okay, Paul Grippy now with our Allied players of the game. Paul?
Okay, Bob, Allied Services player of the game. First of all, Matt Fisher for Hazleton here. Just tell me how your team changed. You were shaky in the first quarter. Even last week, your team was shaky. How has this team changed?
All summer, Coach Brennan's been talking to us. We need to win those one-point games. We lost 2 last year, and our goal this year was to win those games, and we just kept battling. We worked our asses off for this, and we're going to have fun tonight now.
All right, you guys made a quarterback change this week, too, also. How did Kellen do tonight?
Kellen started off a little shaky, but as you saw, he really improved. I think he's going to be really strong for us going ahead.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. And Kevin, also a player of the game. Tell me about that first touchdown that you scored.
It was awesome. I was talking to the coaches, and I told them I can get 5 yards of carry, and me and Lance both ran the ball hard today, and we ran the ball down their throat, and it really came out in the end.
After losing that game to Pottsville, compare the feeling after that game to the feeling right now.
Winning is one of the best feelings a man could have, and Pottsville, we were down, but we practiced, we worked hard, and we worked as a team, and came out in the end with a win.
All right, congratulations on a great win. Thank you for the thrilling game, and we're going to present you with the Allied Services Friday Night Rivals Trophy for winning tonight against Wyoming Valley West. Congratulations. Get over there and celebrate.
Yeah.
Bob, they're celebrating.
And really, we could give it to Johnson, we could give it to Warner, and you know what? They should give that trophy to the offensive line because they controlled a lot tonight. Up front, they gave the holes for Molesky and for Johnson and Warner, and really, somebody buy the big guys dinner.
I think
Please.
there's going to be a lot of pizza being bought for those guys because they really did respond really well after such an abysmal game last week against Pottsville to do this to a very good Valley West squad. Coach Baranski right now is probably that's the hardest thing to talk to your guys after a 1-point loss, saying, look, hold your heads up. It's over. It's done. We got to move forward because we have our next opponent next week.
I don't know about you, but I need a drink. And I mean water.
I know that because it's so
hot up here.
It was like hot yoga announcing tonight. It was this press box. It was really hot this evening.
But what a game! The
Great
Hazleton area team grew up in front of our eyes. Did a nice job. Valley West has to come back next week, and they'll take on Dallas. Right? No, they'll take on Crestwood. I'm sorry, they'll go to Crestwood next week and try to rebound with that. Coach Baranski's home debut doesn't go as planned. He falls to 1-1. Hazleton goes to 1-1 as well.
And Dylan Nastansky stepping up for Valley West. He's just going to keep getting better because you saw how he engineered that comeback right there at the end of the game.
Okay.
Tremendous job.
Next week we head back out. It's Tunkhannock and Pittston area. Jan and I will be there, and hopefully that game lives up to the game like we saw tonight.
It will, because it is as I said, it's become such a rivalry game with Pittston and Tunkhannock. So I think it's going to be a good shootout.
It's came down to one extra point, and it favored Hazleton area. The final score, once again, 35-34 for the entire Friday Night Rivals sports team. For Paul Grippy, for Jan Cichak, this is Bob Hyde saying so long from Kingston.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.